To the city that invented the skyscraper, reversed the flow of a river, created its own style of pizza.
Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics. And we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players. In addition, Sports Broadcast Solutions does highlight films, including college recruiting reels, highlight films you'd see on sports news programs, and just simply highlight films for fun. Sports Broadcast Solutions also provides raw footage and live streams if you'd like. Subscribe to us and listen to our professional talk videos about relevant topics in the pro and college ranks. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, contact us at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital world. This is Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone. Check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com and become part of the digital sporting world.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school.
It's June 9th, 2010. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final is taking place between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Philadelphia Flyers. The final result will be an overtime win in Philadelphia. If the Flyers end up victorious, they'll still have to win a Game 7 in Chicago. It's a 3-3 tie in the first overtime, meaning this has been a moderate offensive explosion with some decent defense and goaltending squeeze in between this hockey contest. This is a huge game for Blackhawks fans, as their favorite hockey team has been a laughingstock in the Western Conference for most of the previous decade. For the Flyers, they're looking to bring back Stanley Cup glory to the city of brotherly love for the first time since the 1970s. To truly understand the importance of what happens next, we need to hit that left button on the VCR. In other words, we need to rewind. The Blackhawks are an overtime goal away from cementing their legacy in NHL history. But for a franchise who used to not even televise its home games, this seemed like a pipe dream even 5 years ago. Known for his severe cheapness, Blackhawks former owner Bill Wirtz decided to cancel all home broadcast agreements with network and cable television outlets in 1992. According to Wirtz and the Wirtz Corporation as a whole, home broadcasts were, quote, unfair to the team's season ticket holders, unquote. And as crazy as this decision was by Wirtz, fan attendance increased during the mid-1990s. Incredibly, without normal home broadcasts and overall television brand awareness about the team, the Hawks averaged over 19,300 fans during the mid-1990s at the United Center. This is how it worked. WGN and other media outlets couldn't broadcast the Blackhawks games at the United Center. But if a national broadcasting network such as ESPN decided to telecast the game, a Blackhawk fan could purchase HawkVision, a subscription network worth $29.99 per month. Then you could watch the ESPN broadcast of Blackhawks vs. Red Wings at the United Center on normal cable television. It was pretty confusing, to be sure, and as you know, the internet wasn't big back then. if you were a big hockey fan and wanted to know about the Blackhawks, you either had to go to the game or wait for the hockey highlight on SportsCenter. Even then, hockey coverage wasn't big on ESPN, so it was in your best interest to purchase a ticket at the UC. So the fans kept supporting the Blackhawks even though they couldn't watch their favorite team on TV. However, the product on the ice wasn't so great. As if it were a curse from the hockey gods, the Hawks kept finding different ways to choke in the playoffs. An original six team, the Hawks were at one time the second most cursed original six franchise. The New York Rangers went titleless from 1940 until 1994, and the Hawks now find themselves in the same place as the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs and the Hawks have not hoisted Lord Stanley's Cup since the 1960s decade. For the Hawks, it's been even worse. They haven't won it all since 1961, and before that, Chicago went 23 years without hoisting the Cup. The Maple Leafs have been a borderline disaster since 1967, but at least the Leafs were a dynasty in the 60s. The Hawks were lucky to even win the 1961 Stanley Cup. So yeah, the Hawks have pretty much been mediocre or worse since 1961. However, there were moments when the franchise seemed destined for championship glory. The worst moment for Chicago hockey fans was the 1971 Stanley Cup Final against the hated Montreal Canadiens. Without air conditioning at Old Chicago Stadium, the Hawks were the home team during Game 7 of the Finals against the Canadiens. Jumping out to an early 2-0 lead, legendary netminder Tony Esposito couldn't stop Jacques Lamar's 60-foot-away snapshot, giving the Canadiens their first goal of the contest. Chicago Tribune writer Bob Verdi said there was a humid haze hung over the ice, but Esposito refused to blame the rink's lack of air conditioning on the soft goal he gave up. He had a point, since Lamar's shot was nearly from the center line. The Canadiens never looked back and scored twice more to upset the Hawks and win 3-2 on Chicago's home ice. Since then, the Hawks have never been closer to winning the Cup as they were that day in 1971. That is, until tonight anyway. As painful as it was in 1971, Hawks fans who were still alive in 1992 had to be devastated at what happened next to Ed Belfour and Dominik Hasek. Incredibly, Eddie the Eagle Belfour and Dominik the Dominator Hasek were both on the Blackhawks at the same time. Two future Hall of Fame goalies were both on the Hawks, and yet the franchise still couldn't win a Stanley Cup with either netminder. Belfour was the starter during the brief Belfour-Hasek years. The Hawks made the 1992 Stanley Cup championship round with Belfour and Hasek both on the roster. It was also a Chicago team with Chris Chelios leading the defenseman, and forward Jeremy Roenick was on this Hawks team as well. Led by captain Dirk Graham, the Hawks went on a very impressive winning streak in the playoffs. After falling to a 2-1 series deficit to the St. Louis Blues, the Hawks won their next 3 games against the Blues, as well as back-to-back series sweeps against the Detroit Red Wings and the Edmonton Oilers. Just like that, 11 consecutive victories saw the Blackhawks 4 wins away from ending up as the last team standing. The only team in their proverbial way, the NHL's version of the Super Mario Brothers, otherwise known as Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr. The Pittsburgh Penguins were the defending Cup champions, and after narrowly beating the Washington Capitals in Game 7 during Round 1, the Pens found their way in the finals thanks to winning 8 of their last 10 games. Hasek was probably Chicago's better goalie entering the playoffs, as the Dominator earned all rookie honors and went 10-4-1 during his 15 starts between the pipes. Between a contract holdout from Belfour and Crazy Eddie missing games this season due to personal reasons, Hasek was turning into a fan favorite, while Belfour was the more controversial choice at net. However, head coach and general manager Mike Keenan stuck with Belfour throughout the playoffs. He turned out to be the best goaltender in the postseason, not named Tom Barrasso. The problem is Barrasso plays for Pittsburgh, so it was up to Roenick and company to find consistent offense against the Eastern Conference's best goalie. It looked like the Hawks had the Pens right where they wanted them when they took a 4-1 lead during Game 1. But the hockey gods haven't liked Chicago since 1961. Whenever the Hawks can blow a postseason lead during crunch time, they like to do it. The Pens scored 4 unanswered goals on their home ice, including the game winner with just 13 seconds left in OT. A crushing 5-4 loss for the Hawks, and they never rebounded from it. It was a sweep for the Pens as the Penguins celebrated their championship victory at Chicago Stadium. Hasek even showed during the series that he still had some raw rookie moments, but Belfour clearly wasn't himself. Hasek subbed in for Belfour in Game 4 after Eddie the Eagle gave up 2 goals on just 4 shots on goal. Keenan had a tough decision to make between keeping Hasek and Belfour, but with Belfour 1 year removed from winning the Vezina and Williams M. Jennings trophies for best goalie, Keenan had no choice but to allow Hasek to become expendable. The Sabres then cashed in on the young goalie's athleticism by fleecing the Hawks with a terrible trade request. The Sabres received a future Hall of Famer in Hasek, and the Blackhawks received just future draft considerations and a goalie in Stefan Beauregard, who never played a single minute in the goalie crease. The future draft considerations eventually led to the Hawks drafting Eric Daze in the 4th round. Daze became an all-star left winger, but serious back and herniated disc issues saw the team's promising winger limited to just 74 games in 3 seasons after his all-star game appearance in 2002. He retired after playing just 1 game in 2005. That being said, Keenan didn't want there to be a locker room controversy between Hasek and Belfour, and it's easy to say in hindsight when no one knew how great Hasek would become. Unfortunately, Belfour wouldn't even finish his career in Chicago. The Hawks were worried that he would re-sign with the team, so they shipped him off to San Jose for 3 players I personally never heard of until I Googled them: Ulf Dahlin, Michael Sikora, and Chris Terreri. Terreri was put in the very tough position of trying to fill Belfour's shoes in net, and he never got close to reaching Belfour's milestone achievements. Blackhawk fans kept asking themselves, is this team cursed? The 1999 Stanley Cup Final pitted Belfour against Hasek as the Dallas Stars took on the Buffalo Sabres. Belfour eventually won the cup over Hasek in the series, although Hasek won more cups than the Eagle once he began playing for the Red Wings. The Blackhawks managed just 1 more Western Conference Finals appearance with Belfour in net, and they wouldn't get back to the Western Conference Finals until last season. No one ever wishes someone to die, but success seemed to reach the Blackhawks once Bill Wirtz passed away from complications of cancer on September 26, 2007. His son, Rocky Wirtz, took over the team, and during their first season with Rocky as the CEO, the Hawks finished above 500 for the first time in 6 years. With John McDonough as the president and Joel Quenneville as the head coach, the Hawks made it back to the playoffs and finished in the Final Four. The Red Wings once again got in their way and easily took care of the Hawks 4-1 during the 2009 Western Conference Finals. Entering the 2009-10 season, the Hawks decided they need a veteran forward who could score goals and match up against their biggest rival, the Detroit Red Wings. Marian Hossa signed with the Blackhawks, giving the Hawks a formidable 1-2-3 punch on line 1 on Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, Marian Hossa. That is, if they ever needed to use all 3 guys on the power play. The Hawks were a tough team to beat in 2010, and they finished just 1 point shy of the Western Conference leading Sharks, but the Hawks were the better team in the Western Conference Finals and swept the Sharks to make it to the Stanley Cup Final. Their opponent was an unlikely one, the Philadelphia Flyers. Entering the playoffs as a 7th seed, the Flyers had little title aspirations, but after the top-seeded Capitals were stunned in round 1 to the 8th-seeded Canadiens, there was new hope in Philly. The Flyers looked dead in the water when they trailed 3-0 in the Eastern Conference semifinals, but Simon Gagne returned for Game 4, and they definitely needed him as Gagne scored in overtime to force a Game 5. Brian Boucher was excellent as the Flyers starting goalie during Game 5, but he had to leave the game early due to knee injuries. As such, Michael Layton finished off Game 5 as the Flyers' new goalie and preserved the 4-0 shutout. Layton then got the start in Game 6 as expected, and he made the most of his opportunity by being perfect through 59 minutes until the Boston Bruins scored late. It was still a 2-1 win for the Flyers, and wouldn't you know it, the Flyers had a chance to win Game 7 and come back from an insurmountable 3-0 deficit. The Bruins actually led 3-0 in Game 7 at the TD Garden in Boston, but they simply couldn't avoid a significantly embarrassing collapse. James Van Riemsdyk, who didn't score a single goal in the playoffs prior to tonight, netted a very important goal late in the first period to give his teammates new life and ending the shutout attempt. The Flyers then scored 3 more unanswered goals to win a surprising 4-3 Game 7 over the Bruins, becoming just the 3rd team in NHL history to come back from a 3-0 series deficit. In fact, this had only been done once in any other American professional sport besides hockey. The Boston Red Sox defeated the New York Yankees 4-3 during the 2004 American League Championship Series. And now the Flyers are back in the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since 1997, looking for their first championship since 1975. The 1997 Stanley Cup Final was very interesting since it pitted the Flyers against the Red Wings, with both teams being in the Eastern Time Zone. The Flyers got swept in that series, with fans questioning if the franchise made the right decision all those years ago when they traded for former #1 overall draft pick Eric Lindros. Lindros scored just once in that series against the Red Wings, and it cost the Flyers a lot just to acquire him. They sent the Quebec Nordiques 6 players, 2 first-round picks, and $15 million in cash for only Lindros. The Nordiques eventually moved to Colorado, with the future Hall of Famer in Forsberg helping the Colorado Avalanche win 2 Stanley Cup titles. What did Lindros contribute? Just one goal in his lone Stanley Cup final, and his constant bad luck of suffering concussions, he suffered 4 during his career in Philly, inevitably led to him being traded to the New York Rangers. In a weird twist of fate, the Rangers tried to trade for Lindros, which would have included goalie Mike Richter. Richter was huge down the stretch for the Rangers during the 1994 Stanley Cup final, which they won, so Rangers fans are probably very happy with the trade with Philly that was finalized prior to the Rangers calling up the Nordiques. But the Flyers are finally back in the Stanley Cup final, in large part due to the Flyers getting defenseman Chris Pronger in another blockbuster deal with Anaheim. It cost Philly 2 players and 2 first-round picks. History tells us that the Flyers love sacrificing the future for winning now, but this time around, it has paid its dividends in a big way. Pronger's 14 playoffs assists have allowed the Flyers to be 1 goal away from forcing a Game 7 in Chicago, their closest to a title in 35 years. The trade for Pronger was definitely an immediate success. Layton's 3 shutouts in the Eastern Conference Finals prove that he deserves to be in the league, but is he a franchise goalie? Not so much. One of the reasons that the Blackhawks are a goal away from the title is Layton can't recreate his magic from the previous round. In fact, Boucher relieved him in Game 2 and Game 5 due to erratic play, but head coach Peter Laviolette decided to stick with Layton in this pivotal Game 6. And to be honest, the Flyers felt comfortable about tonight. Both of their wins in the series were at home, and with the Hawks being led by 2 players under the age of 25 in Kane and Taves, they don't have a lot of experience in this pressure situation. It's up to former #1 overall draft pick Patrick Kane and Captain Taves to finish off the Flyers. Otherwise, it's back to Chicago for a winner-go-home Game 7, and Blackhawk fans know all too well how that panned out back in '71. All the pressure is really on the Hawks to close out Philly. They brought in Host to be that veteran leader when crap starts to hit the fan come playoff time, and he's been very meh in the playoffs. The star of the series has arguably been the former Flyer in Patrick Sharp, who entered tonight's overtime session. 2010. Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final is taking place between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Philadelphia Flyers. The final result will be an overtime win in Philadelphia. If the Flyers end up victorious, they'll still have to win a Game 7 in Chicago. It's a 3-3 tie in the first overtime, meaning this has been a moderate offensive explosion with some decent defense and goaltending squeeze in between this hockey contest. This is a huge game for Blackhawks fans, as their favorite hockey team has been a laughingstock in the Western Conference for most of the previous decade. For the Flyers, they're looking to bring back Stanley Cup glory to the city of brotherly love for the first time since the 1970s. To truly understand the importance of what happens next, we need to hit that left button on the VCR. In other words, we need to rewind. The Blackhawks are an overtime goal away from cementing their legacy in NHL history. But for a franchise who used to not even televise its home games, this seemed like a pipe dream even 5 years ago. Known for his severe cheapness, Blackhawks former owner Bill Wirtz decided to cancel all home broadcast agreements with network and cable television outlets in 1992. According to Wirtz and the Wirtz Corporation as a whole, home broadcasts were, quote, unfair to the team's season ticket holders, unquote. And as crazy as this decision was by Wirtz, fan attendance increased during the mid-1990s. Incredibly, without normal home broadcasts and overall television brand awareness about the team, the Hawks averaged over 19,300 fans during the mid-1990s at the United Center. This is how it worked. WGN and other media outlets couldn't broadcast the Blackhawks games at the United Center. But if a national broadcasting network such as ESPN decided to telecast the game, a Blackhawk fan could purchase HawkVision, a subscription network worth $29.99 per month. Then you could watch the ESPN broadcast of Blackhawks vs. Red Wings at the United Center on normal cable television. It was pretty confusing, to be sure, and as you know, the internet wasn't big back then. If you were a big hockey fan and wanted to know about the Blackhawks, you either had to go to the game or wait for the hockey highlight on SportsCenter. Even then, hockey coverage wasn't big on ESPN, so it was in your best interest to purchase a ticket at the UC. So the fans kept supporting the Blackhawks even though they couldn't watch their favorite team on TV. However, the product on the ice wasn't so great. As if it were a curse from the hockey gods, the Hawks kept finding different ways to choke in the playoffs. An original six team, the Hawks were at one time the second most cursed original six franchise. The New York Rangers went titleless from 1940 until 1994, and the Hawks now find themselves in the same place as the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs and the Hawks have not hoisted Lord Stanley's Cup since the 1960s decade. For the Hawks, it's been even worse. They haven't won it all since 1961, and before that, Chicago went 23 years without hoisting the Cup. The Maple Leafs have been a borderline disaster since 1967, but at least the Leafs were a dynasty in the 60s. The Hawks were lucky to even win the 1961 Stanley Cup. So yeah, the Hawks have pretty much been mediocre or worse since 1961. However, there were moments when the franchise seemed destined for championship glory. The worst moment for Chicago hockey fans was the 1971 Stanley Cup Final against the hated Montreal Canadiens. Without air conditioning at Old Chicago Stadium, the Hawks were the home team during Game 7 of the Finals against the Canadiens. Jumping out to an early 2-0 lead, legendary netminder Tony Esposito couldn't stop Jock Lamar.
Your headphones on, make sure the audio's not Good evening, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe with SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. It's the 14U CSDHL All-Star Game. In the blue against the red, and partner, we had a lot of good All-Star games last year. We did two last year. The 16U and 18U, both were one-goal affairs. One of them went to overtime. That was the 16U game. We'll see if we get those hockey games today.
I loved the pregame predictions by the three people that we interviewed. So the two players on the red team, of course, they predicted a 5-3 win, of course, red, and then a 4-2 win, of course, red. But they went through the thought process. It's an all-star game, but it's not going to be like the NHL all-star games where the score is like 13-10 and there's no defense and the goalie bails out on shots. And then the other prediction on the other side, a high-scoring affair, was going to be, I think it was 6-5. And then the blue coach said he took the over on number of goals over 10, so he wouldn't predict which team or by how much. We said there'd be 12 total goals. So there's a lot of predictions. We got to see which one's going to happen. It's hard to figure out which all-star team is going to win because both teams have really good players. It's not like they've played before or even together with each other. It's hard to say if one conference, if you will, is better than another, right? So it's just going to be a very, very good U14 all-star game to watch.
It sure will be, partner. So you talked to Gavin Ostendorf and as well as
Jack Malone.
Yeah, Jack Malone, and then Dominic Pasoli for the blue team. What were some of the differences between interviewing the red team and the blue team? What are the confidence levels between Pasoli and Matone and Ostendorf?
You know, I feel like they're U14, right? But these guys are like professional in their approach. They're very analytical. They're very smart. They think about what they're going to say. They're not disparaging anybody. They're both quietly confident, but they also know that there's good players on the other team, so they are also quite respectful. These are really good young men, young hockey players. This is all good.
So we will get a Zamboni at the 8:30 mark. It's 17-minute periods, and they'll do every 25:30 we have a Zamboni. So it's not after every period or after the second period. It's every 25 minutes and 30 seconds of action.
Right. It's kind of funny in the middle of the period like that, in the second period at 8 minutes and 30 seconds, there's like a buzzer, and the puck needs to be in the net before that buzzer goes off. It's not like, a basketball game or something like that and play till the end of the quarter, and the buzzer goes off and you can still make the layup.
Yeah, so it'll be a hard stop at 8:30, so the players need to know when it gets to 8:35 to go in the second period, get that shot on net. Otherwise, we're going to the Zamboni.
Right. So the other thing I think is very interesting is 17-minute periods. The pros play 20-minute periods. It's only 3 minutes under what the pros play. So there's a part of me that says, play the extra 3 minutes. Why not, right? But then you look at like Little League Baseball, it's 6 innings instead of the pros. They play 9. High school basketball, they play 8-minute quarters instead of the pros. They play 12. So that's 32 minutes instead of 48. So this is almost, just 3 minutes short per period of what a pro game is. There's 4 lines that they have to roll through, just like the pros. So this is a really good opportunity for these players. I know from my experience coaching sports as well, at the beginning of a game like this, the players are X amount good. At the end of the game, they've improved a lot because they're playing with other good players and they have to play against other good players. So this is a very good learning experience for the players who are honored enough to be a part of this.
Let's talk about our excellent sponsors today. Brought to you by Beef Shack, Plato's Closet, Chicago United Hockey League, the Chicago Hawks, Christie's International Real Estate, the Glenview Stars, and the accounting firm as well. So should be a good one today, partner. I'm predicting red team 3, blue team 2.
Oh, you're saying the low-scoring game. I think I'm going to go with a 6-6 tie. I guess there's probably overtime.
No,
in
we
the
do
shootout.
have the 5-minute overtime, 3-on-3, and then we go to the shootout. We will have a winner today.
Yeah, so I'm still going to say, all right, we have to make it to a somebody wins. So we'll say 6-5 in favor of blue. That's a lot of goals.
We're going to take a break. More All-Star Game action coming up next here on SBS. Oh, mute.
To the city that invented the skyscraper, reversed the flow of a river, created its own style of pizza, gave a home to legends, and stole our hearts. Chicago, we love you. From the iconic attraction at Properties Christie's International Real Estate.
The Glenview Stars Hockey Association sends a shout out to Luke Radel from our Bantam Majors. Congratulations on making the CSDHL All-Star Game. We are so proud of you and thank you for being a star. Today's All-Star sponsors, the Glenview Stars Hockey Association at glenviewstars.org. The Chicago United Hockey League would like to congratulate all the CUHL alumni playing in today's CSDHL All-Star Games, chicagounitedhockey.com. The Burgess family at McLynn's Patio. Plato's Closet of Batavia. Plato's Closet Batavia. Search them on Instagram at Plato's Closet Batavia. At Properties/Christie's International Real Estate, call Jessica Renzi Deegan at 630-530-0900. At properties.com/site/Jessica Deegan Renzi, Degen Renzi, Renzi. Beef Shack, home of the cheesy beef. Go to beefshack.com. Bruns & Bruns certified public accountants. BrunsAccounting.com. Precision Dent Removal, DentRemovalChicago.com.
Are you on mute? Are you on mute?
No. What's going on, bud?
No voice on here.
Well, you something's up with your phone then, because we're on. Do you have audio? Yeah. He's got audio, so something's wrong with your phone.
Okay.
So we're about to start 17-minute periods. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Bilsoe. The live chat is active, so if there's something wrong with the broadcast, let us know. We'll get it fixed for you. Trash talk is allowed. Just make sure it's up to FCC regulations. And here we go. Public address announcements brought to you by the Chicago Steel. Push it away.
Oh, okay. where. Go ahead. I don't know where they are.
No, just you can do it yourself.
Right. Where? How? Where?
Just go to the internet.
Like I said, I don't know where they are.
Yeah, no, I shared them with you.
Right, but I don't have that link. I'm not logged into my email. No, I can't. All right.
I was like, why are you logging in? I guess you could do that. Yeah, you have it on your email.
No, I don't. Not on this computer.
Yeah, well, if you want to use the phone, you can do that.
Then that won't bring it up here.
Yeah, that's fine.
So again, where are they?
Seats.google.com.
Oh, I am on my hotspot. Okay.
Much better Wi-Fi than this.
All right, where is it?
You want to use my jetpack instead?
No,
14U.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, partner, if that won't get you pumped up for an all-star game, nothing will. The red team on the left, blue team on the right. Blue team is technically the home team today, so they're situated in the Steel's bench. So maybe that angers red team a little bit. They'd like to be in the home team and the Steel side of things, but they have to be the visiting team today.
Well, I'm just going to say this. It's beautiful. The blue uniforms are pretty. The red uniforms are pretty, right? Red, white, and blue is the order of the day. We just got done listening to the national anthem. Like you said, if that doesn't get you pumped up, what will? And the flag is red, white, and blue. I mean, this is a wonderful facility. Here we are up top in the boxes looking down right at center ice. Couldn't be a more perfect setup here.
So let's give you the lineups. We already talked about them in the public address announcements, but real quickly, number 1, Thomas Preston. Number 2, Dominic Pasoli. Number 3, Spencer Butts. Number 4, Eric Timko. Number 5, Elan Sun. Number 6, Gavin Seeger. Number 7, Patrick Polina. Number 8, Casey Novak. Number 9, Luke Radel. Number 10, Connor McGauley. Number 11, Gordon Rodriguez. Number 12, Gabe Latowski. Number 13, Owen Kosmetter. Number 14, Patrick Galley. Number 15, Peyton Sobecki. Number 16, Henry Wiseman. Number 17, Kieran Madden. Number 18, Ryan Pape. Number 19, forward Tyler Selwert. And the goalie, number 35, Jacob Borkowski. We're about ready to go. We'll name the red team's all-stars in a bit, but that face-off is indeed won by Kaplan. but here comes Blue on the attack, led by Rodriguez. Out at the corner, it was briefly touched by Kaplan. Now back out behind the net as it's played by Huber. Huber trying to send it up, but it's stolen away by Blue at the point. That shot blocked, and it scatters out to the corner. After right now is Huber, then back out to the point. Couldn't get the shot on net by Sun, and then back over to neutral ice as it dribbles off the boards. Picked up at the red line, gathered and falling to the ice that time is Batone, and then back out to neutral ice. Rodriguez had it briefly as Blue team back on the forecheck. Past the Blues line, Wiseman had it briefly. Now with it is Latowski, and he'll just dump it in. Picked up at the corner, red team trying to break it out, and blue team instead gets a line change.
It's early in the game. It's amazing how the All-Stars, who haven't played together, right, play so well together having not played together. So imagine if they played a few more games together, a couple extra practices, and what this level of play would be at the next juncture.
Well, they've had some practice together. That's off the stick. Rebound, try, scores!
The shot was from the point, and what you try to do is hit it off the far leg. Takes the rebound, you hit it low, goes off the goalie on the far side, and came in and got the rebound. Well executed play. Again, like I was saying, they're playing together.
They're going to credit the goal to Owen Kosmeter, and you could almost see that happening, partner. As the red team was having trouble breaking out, the constant forecheck pressure of blue led to that goal for blue. That shot, and actually it was a pass attempt over to Madden. Over to the corner.
Yeah, that's where the red team needed a breakout plan to get out of the zone, and they couldn't, obviously, and the blue team capitalized on it.
Bouncing off the boards, as was picked up by Lopez.
So now we want to see the red team clear the zone, and they didn't again. Well, not cleanly.
Over to neutral ice, picked up by Seeger.
So this line on the red team not quite as successful getting the puck out of the zone.
That shot wide.
Here we go. Whoops.
Back out to neutral ice as it was briefly touched by Timko. Now past the blue line, Golden. As after it now is Pasoli out behind the starting netminder for blue team. We're going to see both of them for blue, both Preston and Borkowski. Meanwhile, now at neutral ice, still in the neutral zone, backhanding it in that time by Hagen, and then back over to the corner. It's picked up by Sobecki. Out in front, and then covered up and smothered up by the netminder for blue.
Just like we said in the pregame interviews, right? This is not like an NHL All-Star game where everybody gets out of the way of a shot and the goalie has almost no chance. Here, both teams want to showcase their defensive prowess as well. Of course, the goalies want to make stops. So you want to make blocked shots and put the puck into the corner and then breakout plays to get out of your zone.
Face-off, clean win by blue as it was won by Casey Nozak. I always think of Casey Novak, who was the DA for Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
We know what TV shows you like to watch.
Graff, his attended pass, it was a saucer attempt, and it's a little one-hopper right into the glove, and we stop play at 14-11.
Feel like a few seconds went by, and we're in the same face-off, same spot, just a few seconds later in the game. So only about 3 minutes have gone by in the game, so there's still 48 to go. 1-0 lead already.
We do have live stats. The live stats caller today is Seth Humanek, and our intern today is Lawrence. 2 non-shots on goal right now for red team. Meanwhile, in the slot still is red. Stop and start move. That shot goes high. And 2 people credited on the assist for blue. They give it to Pape. Oh, one assist, and that's back out to the point.
I like how red cleared at that time.
So far, the game-winning goal, we're still very early on, but Kosmeter with the go-ahead goal. Meanwhile, back over to neutral ice. Past the center line, now past the blue line. Alstendorf as he's checked into the boards by Sun. Near the end line, picking it up is Pape, and then they'll retreat and reconnoiter back behind the net.
And when you watch them here, you don't realize they're EU14, right? They're very, very young, yet very, very skilled.
Hey, man, Freddie Adu, he was in Major League Soccer at the age of 14. Anything's possible.
Well, it just doesn't have a look and feel like you're watching a U14 game. I mean, we see U14 games, and they don't look like this. That's what happens when you put all the all-stars together in one place.
Well, that's why CSDHL has the distinction of the #1 Tier 2 hockey in the United States. They play some Canadian games, too. They'll go to Canada. They'll play some Canadian teams. Back over to the face-off circle and trying to backhand it in. Red team trying to recover from that early 1-0 deficit.
Well, and it's important that they don't panic. Not like here, they got the puck right out in front. They're one shot away from tying it. Good defensive play off the skate there. But don't panic. Continue to run your offense as you know it.
And that time the pinch attempt goes for naught. Pastowski was on the pinch. That shot goes very wide.
I like, though, Pastowski was looking across court, looking for somebody to pass. Cross rink, looking for another, not really cross rink. He was looking for another player to pass to, but didn't. Took the shot. A lot of coaches will say, make sure you take the shot. That one was, wide as it turned out. But he's looking for a teammate to pass to, and when you make that pass and you connect, the net is obviously a lot bigger from a different angle.
Couple of nice handles, but then poke checked away that time by Blues McCauley. They stay on side, just red. That shot partially blocked, as was blocked by Timko, now out behind the netminder. To the end line, out front shot! Oh, just couldn't get it on net. It was off the stick that time of Salas. Now back over to the point. Trying to send it over to the hash mark, out behind the net. Played by Robbins. Robbins. And then it was briefly off the stick of Lopez, stolen away by Blue. And they get the puck up to Kosmeter, and man, is he a tough force to guard out there, partner. He was looking for a second goal on this shift. Backhander, and then switches over to the forehand. Backhanded pass to Timko out to his defensive teammate, and just able to tap that out front. He had an open Kosmeter, but then getting in the way of that passing lane is Red. Beautiful stop and start move. And then gathered by Red. 2-on-2 now. Staying on side, toe drag, and Blue had nothing of it. Great play by Pasoli, we had in the pregame show. Drilled into the boards, as checked hard was Madden. Sebecki has it. Off the stick of Butts. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Blue is taking it to Red right now.
He's probably heard that one before.
That shot wide. Both goalies are going to get playing time today, and you can see it on the Red bench. The backup for this game is very excited to get it. He's got one hand right on the gate.
This could be a breakaway.
Here we go. Trying to split through the D and does. Breakaway for Red. Shoot! Beautiful save as it was made by Schoenhol. Sorry, that's Preston. And the breakaway that time by George Golden.
Yeah, he was hounded on both sides on defense, so all he could do is shoot essentially straight. At least he put the shot on goal. Looked like he was trying to go for the 5-hole. The goalie went down, made the save. A lot of these shots, especially by the blue team, have been aimed for the corners of the net, but haven't been on net, so they've been going wide. So if they straighten a couple of those shots out, obviously they'll have a little bit better luck.
Staying on side is Red. They got an odd-man rush. 3-on-2. Shot, beautiful. Blocked that time by Butts. That's 2 blocked shots in 2 minutes right now for Blue. Up behind the netminder in Preston. And no one home.
Oh, went back to the point, and there's a line change. And, of course, the players better not touch the puck with the stick. It'll be too many men on the ice.
3-on-1 and a break for Red, trying to stick handle his way around Ostendorf. And at the last second, Ostendorf got a skate on it. Otherwise, it would have been a 3-on-0. That shot wide. Both goalies have been tested, especially Preston, who made that save on the breakaway. Back over to the point. Nadeau.
Yeah, that would have tied the game up at 1-1.
Pape. Intended target is Nozak. Nozak, and he's hit hard. Beautiful check from behind by 13 Watson. Out at the corner. That shot. Stick saving beauty. Now out behind the net. Can't do the wraparound like he wanted. It was stolen away by Red. And over to the hash mark. And Ostendorf taking his time. Setting it off the boards. Gets it out to Sassone. And now a 1-on-4. Saccone has it. As Saccone back to the point. One-timer chance, and that was actually blocked. No save, and then covered up by Preston. We stop play at 8:16.
And the face-off in exactly the same circle it's been the last couple of times. on the near side on our right. It's fun to watch the scoreboard in the middle, too. You can see the game while it's happening.
Yeah, just 0.
Lots of people are here. It's a big arena. Plenty of seating. There's not too many people on the far side.
Saccone had it briefly, blue team, and then offside goes red. Well, blue was taking it to red the first minute. Now red has made the adjustments. They've gotten the puck out quicker on their breakout. What have they done in terms of their adjustments besides that, Bob?
I'm going to say absolutely no adjustments have been made since the beginning of the game, other than, they're getting a little bit more used to each other with every shift, right? That was just a relatively, I'm not going to say lucky goal, but it happened to go off the far side of the leg, and just a very fortunate rebound that got put back right over his leg, and that's just the only scoring we've seen. Both teams are playing good defense. We have seen a couple of red odd man breaks materialize against the blue team that were thwarted, fortunately for blue. But it's a close game. Both teams are playing well. It's kind of what you'd expect in an all-star game. Shot and grabbed out of midair. So you'd expect a little bit more higher scoring, a little bit more skilled players. On the other hand, the defenses are also good, and they are playing defense here. They're not letting anything get by them. The checking hasn't been exceptionally heavy, but when they've needed to, they've dropped players to the ice to make sure that the puck can't get behind the net.
So Sunday, March 24th will be bobblehead night. And that's the Superheads bobblehead night. Then the post-game skate with the steal. Back over the blue line and trying to redirect that in, but it goes very wide out near the Coors Light sign. And sandwiched on the boards. Red trying to pick that one out. And then gathered at the hash mark by Lopez. Out to the corner, backhanded pass, getting away that passing lane. That time was Letowski. And now a 1-on-2 for blue. Rodriguez.
Yeah, an excellent poke check to keep that from going, so it turned into an offsides. Again, just very skilled defense. Didn't have to clobber him, deck him, just, a really good poke check, move the puck around, cause the offsides.
Yes.
We're in for a treat today. This is just the U14 game. As the players get older, hockey's going to get better, higher level.
So right now for blue team, they have 4 shots and 2 on goal. Blue team, good job staying on side. This was played by Rodriguez. Out front shot, a beautiful save.
Yeah, that'll be a 3rd shot on goal. And if you're tracking quality shots, that's right in there.
Almost impressive how he almost scored on that. That shot, blocker, good one.
Another good save.
After it was Wiseman. Out of the corner.
There's some good passing behind the net. One of Gretzky's specialty.
Rodriguez has it, but 2 red people around 1 blue, and usually red's going to win that battle 70-80% of the time. Out behind the net. Communication's so key in a hockey game, partner, but the problem is they haven't practiced with each other all year. So on plays like that at the other side where there's 1 blue player, 2 red, the communication's not quite there yet. In a normal game with their teammates, it'd be quicker for a blue teammate to help out there to make sure the puck's not stolen.
Yeah, for the here we
Chance
go.
Shot. Oh, what a save by Preston. Off the stick of Graff. Save of the game thus far.
Well, he's had the other one on the breakaway as well.
Yeah, remember though the breakaway, the shooter for Red and Kaplan didn't have a lot of time. Here we go, another breakaway chance. Backhander, rebound try, and now they'll reset.
Great pass in the center
and the
again.
Slot shot. Preston again, player of the game thus far.
So the Red has had a lot of pressure and a lot of shots and some odd man rushes, and the goaltending's been standing on his head to keep the game close. Here's a 3-on-1.
In front, shot. Got to get that on net, Bob.
Yep.
Tried to get a little cue with it, did Golden, and he almost scored in that breakaway. That time went way too high with it. Golden
great
again.
rink awareness, though, on where he was. Center of the puck.
He's trying to feed it over to Fisher.
So the Red doing a great job with the forechecking here.
Yeah, Blue could definitely use a line change, but they can't get it in deep. They're going to have to stay out there for another 30 seconds. Shot blocked. On the pinch. You're going to see a lot of pinching, Barter, because it's more about having fun than, playing your normal 2 defenseman set.
Well, we can say that, but we don't know what the coach is telling them. I do know that the red team has made some changes while they've been putting all this pressure on the blue team. The blue team hasn't been able to get to the bench. So just like you said, they're kind of winded. Now here comes the wholesale change. We got a face-off.
So red with 3 shots on goal, 3 for blue. Here's the replay. What a beauty. Backhanded and a beautiful save by Preston. Couldn't get the rebound. And then here's that 3-on-1 that Bob was talking about. Out in front and just couldn't get the shot on net by Golden.
I know.
Out to the end line. Collins will pinch, and he's got help on defense. Ostendorf getting back. Now McCauley, lead pass. Past the blue line. Backhanded out front, wide open man, and just couldn't get the shot net. Rebound try. Loose puck. Couldn't cover it up that time. The netminder for Red and Peter Flossie. And now out in their own zone is Red. 2 blue players around it. 2-line pass. Trying to feed it to Saccone. After right now is Timko had a block shot earlier in the period. 2-line pass. And I don't know about that part. I don't think it went off the skate of Nozak. A break for blue.
Well, I like the no call on the washing out the icing. He certainly had the chance to get it, just didn't.
Yeah, but you got to wash it out because it's the right call, not because you don't want icings to be called. Here we go, 3-on-3. Sabecki with a toe drag. Red had nothing of it. Saccone, backhanded pass right on the tape. And now fed over to Costanza. Kaplan, shot.
Ooh, that's off the stick handle. Now the question is, was that on net or not? But that hit the back, the up high part of the goal.
Went off the stick of the netminder.
Right,
yeah,
right.
So that's a shot on goal. Anything off the goalie is
well,
an
we don't know if
SOG.
it was going to be, in real life, never mind whether you call it a shot or not, right? But in real life, would it have been in the net?
Shot, one-timer. Oh, his own team. Bob, I was just going to say, his own teammate got in the way of that shot. They're screening the goalie. Then you got to get out of the way so it gets on net. Right now, Marino, shot. Tough angle shot, easy save for Preston.
Well, you want to screen the goalie, and then you count on the shooter to hit the part of the net that's not covered by the goalie. So it was well executed, just turned out to his own player. But then the backhand shot, you'd almost say was a wide open corner of the net, but just went a little bit too much wider.
Over to neutral ice, Polina. Salas fed over the blue line. Lopez shot off the blocker. Another nice save by Preston. Man, blue, it just seems like it's hanging on for dear life right now. Preston is keeping them in this game.
Well, dear life and a lead.
Right, but just look at the shot on goal discrepancy. 8 to just 3 for blue.
Right, that's what we've been saying. Red has been pushing. They've been forechecking the shots. Preston's been standing on his head. That's why he's an all-star goalie. Here, if he could have grabbed it.
Radel now with a 2-on-2. Radel, and good job taking him off the puck by Postowski. And not just that, Parter, he avoided the check from behind as well.
Well, yeah, you'd have to say that was an all-star defensive play.
Yeah, the red team fans don't like it, Parter. You could almost agree with them. That looked like a trip. Here we go, 2-on-1. Pape taking his time. Pape out front. Oh, keep your stick on the ice. Oh, boy, that's one that Rado's going to remember for a while. Out in front, off the skate.
Yeah, another nice centering pass. When you center the pass and you're in tight to the goal, you got to get this centering pass to where the stick on the ice is, not to where you're kind of hoping where it might be, or certainly not to the feet of the player. So those couple of passes were just wide of the mark. That's why the goals weren't scored.
Awesome stick handling that time by Salas, and then they cheated.
Yeah, they're going to say it was offside, just in a hair ahead of the puck.
I think that's like the epitome of offside. You got the puck that's not even past the blue line yet, and your teammate's halfway between the blue line and the end line.
Well, I don't know that it was that far apart, but the point is clearly the player was inside the zone. The referee had no choice but to call offsides. And it will be called straight up, not because it's an all-star game. Will they be like, we're going to give them the break this time? No.
Out at the corner.
Yeah, time is absolutely flying, though. We're almost at the end of the first period. Just one goal, though I think I expected more scoring. To your point, 8 shots on goal, only 1 in, or none in on that.
Tie-up action by Timko. The defense has been excellent today, and Preston stealing the show thus far.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to say the defense is excellent. Preston's been excellent.
That's a shot. It wasn't much on it, but that's considered
It'll
a shot.
count, so maybe they'll increase that shots on goal from 8 to 9 on that. Here we have a face-off. It looks like they're going to face off on the far side.
Sending a shout out to Braden McQuillan of the Cyclones U15s. Congratulations on a great year. Keep up the hard work. We're so proud of you. Love Mom, Dad, and Brooklyn. Meanwhile, face off by Red out to the point. And stolen away by Blue. This will be their last rush of the period. Rodriguez trailing, splitting through the D. Breakaway chance. Shot. He scores! Gabe Latowski makes it 2-0. Peter Flossie can't believe it. What an excellent move that time by Latowski.
Split the defense. You have to think that the defense needed to push him away from the puck so he couldn't get through there. And then a great deke and then a upper shot into the top of the net over the goalie. The goalie went down. You see the replay here at center ice.
There's no chance for Flossie.
No, the goalie thought he was going to go around and shot it up high.
And that's one of the tough ways you learn the hard way. Play the body, not the stick. When you play the stick and you just poke at it, it allows the opposition, the opposing player to just stick handle his way through the D. Breakaway chance, and he made the most of it.
Well, and that's why players get better during these all-star events, because he finds out, yep, even with 7 seconds to go in the period, you got to knock the player away from the puck, not just poke check at the puck, because that's what allowed him to split the defense. So a 2-0 lead right at the end of the first period. Now, the question is going to be what kind of adjustments are going to need to be made by the red team to catch up in the second period.
We're going to take a quick break. You're watching SBS, the broadcasting network for everyone. Remember, we got to go to break. So we back to the action, Kyle Smith. Back to the action, Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoy. Nick Polos from the Vikings just gave us a thumbs up for the action. Orland Park Vikings would like to send a shout out to all our CSDHL All-Stars, as it's going to be Saccone, and he was opposed by McCauley, won by Red. Keep up the hard work, and congratulations on making the All-Star team from the Lopez family. Right on the tape as it's fed over to Madden. Madden, as that shot blocked. Beautiful job blocking it by Huber.
It was a very good shot block. Here was a toe drag on the shot, and was able to stay with it and deflect it for him, so the goalie had no danger there. So Preston now is at the other end. We'll see if he stands on his head on this end as well.
Yeah, he's just been fabulous. But the 2 goals, there's nothing that Flossie could do. One was a ricochet rebound try right off the pad. Here we go, a 2-on-1, make it a 2-on-2. Stop and start move out to the trailer. And a stick handling move. Back out behind the net. Off the stick of Cosmeter to the point. Feeding it over to Seeger. His shot. And it was last touched by Marino. That was going to be wide of the net. Do we consider that a blocked shot, Bob?
That's a great question, right? It was absolutely a wide shot. No, I wouldn't say a blocked shot.
Wasn't much on it either.
Well, I was a little surprised he shot it at the near end. I mean, if you want to get a deflection, you want to hit the far end of the net, not the near end. There was not going to be a deflection that could push that into the center of the net. Here's 2-on-1 again.
Galley. That time, Galley's got to shoot that on net. It was clearly covered up in front. Shoot it on net and hope for a rebound.
Well, that was one thing about the Quenneville teams. They always shot. the far, it's like soccer, far post, right? You want to shoot the far net and then, get the deflection. You don't really want to shoot the near side of the net quite as much. Those deflections are harder to make in because that's the side that the goalie is actually on, right? So you want to shoot at the far post over there and looking for those deflections. You absolutely want to shoot on net, but of course you don't want to put it right in the breadbasket of the goalie. So like in the All-Star games, when you see him shoot those little saucers connected to the four corners of the net, that's where you're really trying to shoot for. High, low, and left and right corners.
At the blue line, Galley with it. Galley to the trailer. Good drop-off pass, shot wide.
Yes, he was going for the near upper corner of the net, just went wide. But you can't just throw it at the goalie because the goalie will stop every one of those.
Yeah, you want to go low if you can.
Well, high corners is your first choice, right?
Yeah. Got to remember, though, these are good goalies, so when you go high, they're most likely going to make that glove save or that blocker save. When you go low, even though the goalie's most likely going to make the save, you have a better chance of a rebound.
Well, that's how that first goal went in. It was a low right shot, right? Went off the outstretched left leg of the goalie and was rebounded in over the outstretched left leg of the goalie. And then the second goal that was scored was put in the upper right corner of the net, a high shot, top shelf. And that's the two goals we've seen.
One of the sponsors today, of course, is Precision Dent Removal, and let's see if Red Team can put a dent in that lead of blue.
Well, and the question is, what kind of adjustments can they make? Now, it's not like there was a 12-minute, break between the intermissions. They had a little extended timeout in between. They switched sides, so there's not a whole lot you can change in that couple of minutes. And you're down 2, so probably nothing has been changed other than try a little bit harder, maybe try this tactic instead of that or something. But I think we're going to see more of the same. A little pressure, a lot more pressure from Red, perhaps, and got to be really careful of these odd blue rushes. Like here we go again.
3-on-3. Red Team's getting back quickly though on the back check.
On that one they did.
And Butts with it, wide open in front, chance! Oh, what a save by Flossie!
That's one you put on replay and on a highlight film shot, right? He made the initial save. The puck came right out to the stick. Looked like a wide open net to backhand it into the net, but he smothered it with his outstretched left hand. That's a highlight film save.
So we'll see if we get it. Might not have it here. We'll have it on the next stoppage. But Flossie with an excellent save. But that's something that Red Team needs to work on, partner. Wide open was Ryan Pape, and that can't happen if you're going to win today if you're Red.
Well, and the shots on goal are getting a lot more even now. Blue catching up.
Shot. It's in the net. Red Team scores. Top shelf, where you keep the cookie jar away from your rapscallion kids.
Top shelf, right side, goalie's left. Preston finally unable to stand on his head on that save. So now we have a 2-1 game.
And credit to George Golden. Shot by Golden. Golden opportunity, made the most of it. And you got to be happy for him. He's had so many opportunities to score. He had the breakaway, couldn't get it done. He had that shot in the slot, went too high with it. Third time's the charm. Maybe one that Preston should have had because he's been so good otherwise today, but excellent goal nonetheless by Golden.
Well, I think that's why you tell your players to pester the net with shots because the goalies are very good and they stop most of them, but something is going to get through. Here we go, another breakaway.
Chance for blue, shot, Flossie with a nice save. The chance was for Gordon Rodriguez.
Yeah, I was looking for the penalty to raise an arm on the back check on the hook, but I guess no call and we play on.
Gaff, shot, Preston, nice pad save. You'd like to go to the other pad, partner, try to get that rebound try on the other side of the net. He went left and just no rebound try. Out in the glove, Preston couldn't keep it. No look backhander, chance for Red, trying to feed it in front. Loose puck, picked up by Blue, gathered by Blue, and attempted pass, trying to split through the D and does. That shot very wide. Flossie couldn't glove it. Now out to the point. It was last played by Wiseman and over to neutral ice. Played right now by Collins. Stolen by Blue. Picked up by Wiseman. Then retrieved at the blue line. Stop and start move by Rodriguez. He takes his time. Looks for a man out in front. Red Team intercepts it. And then obtained past the blue line. 2-on-2. Stop and start move. That time by Huber out to the corner and then fed over to the blue line, picked up by Madden. Chance for Blue and almost lost it. Poked away by Huber and back over to Red.
And this is precisely why we do the Zamboni in a couple of minutes here. The puck is very bouncy on this ice surface right now. So in 3 minutes and 51 seconds, we're going to get a break while the Zamboni cleans up the ice.
So, partner, you got the live stats while you're looking at them. 3:51 to go in the period. If you're just joining us, Blue has never trailed. They've been up by as many as 2 goals. It was 2-0, now 2-1. Face off for Red on the right wing side. It's won by Red. Over the blue line, just couldn't get it. And then having to pick it up in their own zone. Slow moving puck, knuckle version, and then picked up by Blue, and there's a collision. Oh boy, that could have been brutal. It was between McCauley as well as Owen Cosmeter, who scored to make it 1-0. Here comes Pasoli, we had in the pregame show. Pasoli, dangerous move, partner. There were 2 Red players around it, and it was almost stolen away by Red. Red team with it. Off the steal sign, here comes Saccone, and Saccone, he's got a man open in front. Saccone feeds it in front. Chance for Red, couldn't get it on net. Loose puck in the slot, backhander shot by Preston. Another try, loose puck. Oh, they just can't score.
They never fully had control of the puck to elevate it into the top of the net. Preston stayed low, and nothing could go into the net as a result. Some great pressure on that, though.
All right, partner, what do you have for live stats in terms of shots and shots on goal for both teams?
Well, on the scoreboard in front of us, we see Red's got 14 shots on goal, and the blue team has 7 shots on goal.
Kaplan, that shot, try to go high with it. I mean, Red team is taking it to Blue right now, 14-7 in SOG. Preston is the main reason they have the lead.
Well, and it's only a 1-goal lead now. Right? It's a slim margin.
Out in the slot, and then just poked away by Red, coming up by Flossie.
I think if you're going to poke it away, I think you have to poke it away all the way into the corner. He poked away into well, in this case, a shot on goal, right? But he could have been centered and made a better play out of that. So when you poke it away further into the corner, get it further away from the goalie. But again, they're 14.
Face off, won by Red off the boards as it was obtained by Butts, and then back over to the blue line. Backward skating action, trying to find Nozak past his stake. Nadeau after it. Icing called against Blue. They cheated, which means a face-off deep in Blue zone end.
Yeah, they're going to get penalized, bring the puck all the way back.
Good thing is, though, partner, it's not the NHL, so you can do a line change even though you ice the puck. In the NHL, of course, if you ice it, you got to keep your men on the ice, even if they're tired.
And according to these stats on the blue team, nobody's got more than 1 shot on goal. Very interesting. On the red team, George Golden has 5 shots on goal, right, to lead that team. And Peter Hagen, according to this, has 2 shots on goal.
We'll give you the face-off stats in a minute. 2:12 remaining in the period. Man, red team, how did they not score that loose puck for what seemed for an eternity? Couldn't get it past the end line. Wraparound try. And then blue team saw it all the way. The wraparound attempt was by Salas. Out to the corner. Played by Sun. And then over near the alley sign. Near the boards. Now back to the face-off circle. Stop and start for the beauty. Beautiful handles that time by Sun.
I love that description. Out by the alley sign, right? So great advertisement for Ollie's.
Out in front. That shot goes high. Of course, Kevin Ollie was the head coach of UConn when they won the college basketball championship. He's still coaching, by the way. No sec. Salas getting in the way of that passing lane. Lack of communication between Salas and his intended target and Robbins. Now near the blue line. A lot of red players around it. No blue, and looks like blue wants to get a line change here. And they can get it if they want it. They got a wide open man. Galley calls for it. They just couldn't get it to him. Galley steals it. With it still is Galley.
Question is, did he see him? He was wide open. Whoop.
Galley swinging a miss on the shot. Looked like Charlie Conway on that miss. Anybody who's ever seen the Mighty Ducks movie.
Some excellent puck control in the offensive zone while there was a line change behind it.
That slapper, and it just goes wide. Man, Peter Flossie, he is a big boy between the pipes. If you score, you better keep that puck because it's not going to happen often. He's got great size for the position. One-on-one now. Blue team wins that battle. Loose puck picked up by red. They've got numbers. Out in front. Shot. Oh, just goes wide. Gathering it at the point is Huber. And here we go. An odd man rush. Leading the way. Oh, just couldn't get it in front. Leading the way was 18, Ryan Pape. Actually, that's 19, Tyler Selward. And he got the pass he wanted, partner, but red team at the last second got a skate of it. An easy job for Flossie to cover it up.
Yeah, just broke up the pass cross ice, and that's exactly what he needed to do. Very fortunate. If that pass had gotten through maybe a little bit sooner on the pass, that was going to be a wide open shot. But good defense to break that up after the odd man rush happened.
Face off won by Red. Good job by Gaff, but blue team still has it. Blue team with a lot of time. That's a loose puck. Flossie can't cover it up. Chance shot. Flossie again.
What is it about end of period stuff that the red team can't stop? They almost scored again like with 5 or 10 seconds left to go in the period. So now we're going to get a face-off to the side with 11.8 seconds, but almost a last-second goal again for blue.
They got time, partner. Win the face-off. You have time for a face-off win and 2 passes and a shot. It was won by blue. Falling to the ice, that's another trip that the refs are going to let us play on with.
Exactly. I'd, again, let them play on. It's an all-star game, and you don't need a 2-minute penalty.
But if you keep letting things go, it can get chippier and worse.
You got to call that, yeah. But I think you're also talking about all-star players, and they're not as likely to get chippy with everybody than somebody else who's getting beat up physically who wants to get some revenge in the game.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break, then we'll give you some stats analysis. You're watching Red Team against Blue. It's the 14U CSDHL All-Star Game here on Sports Broadcast Solutions.
All runners are different, and we're here for everyone. The beginners, everydayers, once-in-a-whilers, the treadmillers, track goers, and trailblazers. For every mile, marathon, stretch, and stride, we're here for gearing up and having fun. All the ways you run, all budgets, all at Academy. Have fun out there.
Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the post-game show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. But my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh back on defense, and Marsh gets a blowout. We got a breakaway at 2-0. A shot, and a goal! So 3-3. The power play was officially over.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, check us out at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you who would like to broadcast or live stream your event, or maybe make a highlight tape, but would like a sponsor to fund the event, SBS has a myriad of ways to advertise your sponsor during our broadcasts. We have commercials. We have on-air reads by the announcers.
Albatross Physical Therapy and Wellness specializes in pain-free.
We have graphics, and we have watermarks. Finally, Sports Broadcast Solutions can create a commercial for you or your sponsor. Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. For those of you that just want raw footage of your sporting event, but no play-by-play or color commentary, you just need us to live stream video from the event over the internet. We will live stream your event on YouTube on our Sports Broadcast Solutions channel. In addition, we also have a dedicated channel on YouTube for live streaming at SBS Livestream. And if you need multiple channels, we can utilize Facebook Livestream and Instagram Live on our channel as well. Options include commercials from your sponsors, professional scoreboard graphics are still available, and of course, yes, pre- and post-game interviews are available as an option if you want.
We've been working really hard this whole summer and stuff.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. We broadcast sporting events for people of all ages, including adult leagues, high school leagues, and kids. Complete with professional-looking graphics, broadcasters, color analysis, and commercials. We do pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
To the city that invented the skyscraper, reverse the flow of a river. Properties, Christie's, International Real Estate.
Good afternoon, everybody. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe. Red team is leading right now in terms of shots on goal, 14-9 in terms of SOG between red and blue. But Thomas Preston, the difference in this game, partner, but after the ZAM, his day is probably over. They're going to go to the backup most likely.
Yeah, no doubt, right? What's interesting is the team with 14 shots on goal just has 1 goal, and the team with 9 shots on goal has 2 goals. So you wouldn't expect that. As for the faceoffs, the red team, they've won 12 faceoffs and lost 9 faceoffs, so it's close enough. It's within the ballpark of each other. So it's just it's a close game, a 1-goal game after half the game has gone by. And Preston seems to be the difference in the net.
Well, no Preston. It's most likely going to be for blue team. They're going to go with Jacob Borkowski. We saw Peter Flossie the first 25-30 of action, so the last 25-30 is going to be Alex Schoenholz. It could go either way, partner. I said 3-2, and so far my prediction is looking pretty good.
It is. Of course, before the game we had a 4-2 prediction in favor of red, a 5-3 prediction in favor of red, and then the blue prediction was a 6-5 prediction in favor of blue, of course. So, we're headed toward the lower end of the scoring here. I think as the ages go up, 15s, 16s, and then the 18s, I think we might see more scoring then during this All-Star event this weekend. But what a lot of fun. Again, they just don't look like 14-year-olds. They're skating well, checking well when they need to, right? I'd say if I had to give some critique, maybe the pucks are flying a little bit wide too often. I think a little bit more care should be put it on net, maybe without quite as much pace, but it's easy for me to say. Ultimately, you have to be able to score goals at a fast pace and on net. So I think that would be the one thing I'd like to see change. Now they had an intermission to talk about it for 12 minutes or so while the Zamboni came around and cleared the ice.
So here are the guys that have scored and have played excellent. For the Falcons, Owen Kosmeter, as that face-off is won by blue as restart play here at beautiful Fox Valley Ice Arena. Kosmeter and Gabe Latowski are both from the Falcons. Kosmeter and Preston are both from the Falcons. Gabe Latowski is from the Blues. Meanwhile, George Golden, who made it a 2-1 deficit with his goal. And then the netminder that we saw to start off the game, Peter Flossie, also from the Bulldogs, as that's covered up by the backup netminder in Alexander Schoenholz.
So the face-off is our right side, near side, in our favorite spot.
We'll say red team won that, but it was briefly off the stick of Madden. Of course, I always think of Madden from the New Jersey Devils, that excellent defenseman. 2-on-1, nice pass shot, and a nice save. The shot was good, but the save was even better. The 2-on-1 went the way of red, but they couldn't finish. And they Zamboni'd it, but that puck stopped. It hit some water, so not a perfect Zamboni job.
Oh, we're going to blame the Zamboni on that pass.
As it's off the stick of Kosmeter.
Tie each other up.
And the puck is not exactly going the way that the players want it to go. It's stopping on some wet spots off the boards, and after right now was Austin Dorf. Out behind the net, sending it over to the hash mark. Off the stick, stolen away by Red. They've got numbers out in front, and Austin Dorf couldn't get it on net. The man we had in the pregame show trying to prove his worth on the ice for that pregame interview, and he's doing a nice job of it. Now Sun plays it. So how do you adjust, partner, when Preston was doing so well, but you no longer have him between the pipes?
Well, you don't. You assume that your backup goalie, and they're both all-stars anyway. You don't know really which one's better. So he should do just as well as Preston. I do think if there's an adjustment to be made is you want to make it so Preston didn't have to be quite so busy. So you got to stop him a little bit more with fewer odd man rushes from the blue team.
Backhanded pass, chance. He's got a half step on the defense, but a nice poke check and a beauty by Pastowski. That's the second brilliant defensive move he's done today. Off the stick, trying to feed it out in front.
Yeah, it's too easy to say, well, that's because he's an all-star.
That shot goes wide.
Yeah, that was one of those, I think the goalie was screened on that. Didn't move. Fortunate for the goalie, the shot did go wide.
So now it's a battle between Schoenholz and Borkowski. And the better goalie in the first 25-30 of action was that man we talked about, Preston, and who will be the better goalie in the last 25-30?
Well, and if you're picking the 3 stars of the game, even though he played half a game, he's an odds-on favorite to win it. Unless the score, well, let's see what would happen. He still did a great job. He can't change no matter what.
Yeah, because let's say it becomes a 2-2 or 3-2 final before we get into overtime, obviously. I mean, Preston is the third star regardless because he was the main reason they were still leading 2-1 going into the ZAM.
Yeah, you have to go with that. Good check there to get the puck back.
3 stars thus far. The third star would be Golden, second star Letowski, and first star would be Preston in my eyes.
Did you already pick the NBA MVP this year?
I go with Gilgeous Alexander. He's just been phenomenal.
Yeah, this guy in the Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has been phenomenal, hasn't he? I like that you're going with somebody other than Jokic for a change.
I mean, you could go Jokic. There's nothing wrong with that. And then here's the slot. Open guy in front. And a nice save that time. The backup in Borkowski. Looking anything but a backup. I mean, he has been tested, partner. We saw that breakaway that he saved, and that time on his back, putting his team on the back with a nice glove save.
All right, we can't talk about this long, but we're going to timestamp this game with this question, right? So Fields or Williams or Drake May or what's the other one, the fourth one?
Well, anybody. They could go J.J. McCarthy,
Daniels.
Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels.
So what are they going to do? You got one chance to say it.
I'm going to be wrong, but I think they're going to draft Marvin Harrison number 1. I think they're going to draft McCarthy number 9. It's not going to happen, but
all right. I'll put my money on Williams in the first round, and then so in 10 years from now, we can play this back and we can see if they made the right call.
Wouldn't that be something, though, for next year to have 3 number 1 wide receivers? Marvin Harrison, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore.
Right. I just like the way that this game is being broadcast, right? Play-by-play and everything.
Yeah.
So 10 years from now, 35 years from now, these players can play this game back and see what they looked like when they were 14 on the ice arena. And now that we timestamp the game, they can find out later, like a time machine, well, was Williams a Hall of Fame quarterback or not? Did they blow it by not picking McCarthy? Is Marvin Harrison truly going to go into the Hall of Fame? But they'll want to play this game back in the future many, many times.
You know, back to hockey, partner. Do you like the lottery system, or do you think they should do the draft picks by record? Is that shot? Oh,
just wide, trying to get the goalie caught out of the goalie box there.
The goalie box? You mean the crease?
Yeah. Well, we're going to call it goalie box on that one.
Goalie box. Too much soccer for you.
Well, we had a cross-court pass.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Too much basketball, too much soccer, or sorry, football. I don't want to Americanize it too much. Yeah, that solves a heck of a game, though. I mean, sometimes in all-star games, you see some crazy stick handles and the defense lets off a little bit. Not so much today. We've seen some checks. We've seen some nice poke checks. The defense has been there. The goalies have showed up. If you didn't know about it and you just saw 2 teams, one team wearing blue and one team wearing red, you would think it's a regulation hockey game the way both teams have played today.
That's what I've been saying. These are just so much better than your average, U14 game. Of course, we know it's an all-star game, but this is a very good all-star game. We haven't got a penalty here.
So we're going to get our first penalty of the game. Going into the box for red is going to be Golden. So it'll be a 2-minute power play for blue.
Yeah, I don't know what the call was. I'm thinking it had to be like 6 men on the ice or something. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I didn't see, an illegal play anywhere. too many men on the ice, perhaps. But Golden's in the box. That's what you get for scoring all those goals.
Face off to blue. We'll get it fixed on the scoreboard for you in a second. But right now, it's going to be in the box, Golden, and he's got 1:49 remaining on the penalty kill. Out in front near the crease, and then cleared by Red. Past the blue line, and Red team finally dumps it in. I mean, they have so much speed, both teams does. You don't have to ice it on your penalty kill, Bob. I mean, you can skate with the puck and play a little monkey in the middle and then dump it.
I'm a little surprised sometimes teams don't do that. Bring, when they do finally get the puck, take it in the blue line, then turn around and you kick it back to your own zone, your own defenders, and then up, send it up ice.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about scouting reports and, knowing who can go coast to coast with it and who can't. So, for example, let's say the Blackhawks are playing the Avalanche. Obviously, Connor Bedard's going to be on that power play. So if the Avalanche ice it, Connor Bedard is one of those players that can go from end line to end line. So playing a little monkey in the middle and then dumping it, you give Bedard less time on the man advantage to go coast to coast with it.
Well, especially pro hockey, it's so fast. You got to have an awful lot of patience, and I'll say guts, to hold the puck for Bedard to go get there from here.
Right. Now, the thing is, at the NHL, it's a lot harder for players, even if they are Connor Bedard, to go coast to coast. But he's so good with strides. He's not necessarily going to score on that coast-to-coast play, but he's going to create odd man rushes where somebody else can score.
Yeah, something I'd like to see. I'd like to be more of an innovative coach, right? And so I'm thinking that when you're late in the third period and you're down a goal and the other team has a penalty, your goalie is useless in your own net. Pull him. Then it's like a 6-on-4. The other thing that now is changing in the NHL that used to be if somebody did pull the goalie, it was only for like 54 seconds before the end of the game. Now some of the teams will pull the goalie up to like 3 minutes to go in the game if they have an advantage face-off. I'd like to see more of that. It's 54 seconds to get that game-tying goal. It just isn't enough.
Past the red line. Red team still on the penalty kill for 15 seconds. Toe drag and saying, I don't think so. Patrick Polina puts a body on his opposing player and says, you're not going to get past me today. Meanwhile, out to the blue line. That's the one thing, partner, about hockey. You try to do those cute little toe drags, and when you're playing Ty Domi, he's just going to send you to the ice.
Well, yeah, right. Obviously that's one of Bedard's, absolute, go-to play kind of thing. He's just perfected it. And what it does, it changes the angle. It makes it harder for the defense to block it with the skate or a stick.
Right, but if you play the body, it doesn't matter what what the forward does. You try to stick handle and deke your way past the D, he can just check you to the ice. Just play the body, don't play the puck. Meanwhile, out in front, and they can't get the shot on net. Loose puck still in the slot. Out to the point, couldn't get it on net. Austin Dorf, it's in the All right, guys. Sorry, we're back. We had a little issue with the headset that we're back on. So, and they haven't updated the jumbotron. But they haven't updated the So indeed was a goal, 2-2 the score.
Yeah, the shot came from the point, went off the back.
Another goal for Red.
3-2 now in favor of Red.
So indeed was a goal, 2-2 the score.
Yeah, the shot came from the point, went off the back.
Another goal for Red.
3-2 now in favor of Red. Yeah, this is when you say it's been an avalanche of goals here, 2 in a row. You were behind 2-1. Now suddenly, in a matter of about a minute or two, you're ahead 3-2.
Face-off won by Red. How about that, partner? It goes from a 2-1 lead to a 3-2 disadvantage in 30 seconds.
Right, and this period is almost over, so we're going to have the third period left to sort out who's going to finally win this game. But talk about a game where you're behind the whole game, and now you've got the 1-goal lead.
14 seconds remaining in the period. Offsides is Red.
Yeah, what was that playoff game with the Blackhawks where they scored 2 goals like with 17 seconds to go in like a game 6 or a game 7 or something? That's what this reminded me of. 2 quick goals. You're behind a goal, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're up a goal. So the pressure put on by the Red team caused all this.
Past the blue line, lost an edge. And they got to hustle to get it on net. Matone taking too much time, and that'll do it for the period.
Yeah, still made a good pass, even though while he was on the ice.
Well, partner, we always talk about what stats matter and what stats don't matter in a hockey game. In my opinion, they all matter, but especially shots on goal. Eventually, that advantage has caught up to blue. Red has had the advantage in SOG the entire game, right? And it finally caught up to blue. They now lead 10 in terms of shots on goal, and they lead 3-2 in the game.
Right, and I don't want to put any false aspirations on the blue goalie, right? But if Preston was in the game, would those have been stopped or not? One would like to know. Preston had to stop an awful lot of shots in that first half of the game. Now these couple goals went in. So okay, at the halftime, Blue was up by a goal. Now in this couple minute intermission, the question is going to be: is Blue going to be able to make an adjustment to score a goal and tie the game, or is it going to be you just keep playing as is and you hope you get another odd man break and tie it up? And then, of course, the rest of it, there's a part of me that says, it doesn't really matter who wins, just play well, right? So keep doing what you have been doing, and if the puck goes in, great, you tie it up, and if the puck doesn't go in, well, at least you still played well against a good team on the other side.
Well, I said 3-2, didn't I?
Yeah, well, and then, right, you did. And the Red team said 4-2 or 5-3. Either one there is still in play.
Partner, the second goal that was scored, could you make the argument it was kind of a soft goal? It was a tough angle shot for the forward, and should the netminder and Borkowski should have had that one?
Well, I think for the goalie to have stopped that, he went down early, right, and the puck went over his shoulder behind into the upper right corner of the net, and it was a rebound off the back of the wall behind the goalie. So I don't think I would call that a soft goal. It's just that's what happens. Rebounds happen, and nothing he could do to really stop that, I don't think. He would have had to have smothered that pass, and then it would have been 4 or 5 feet outside the net, not a play a goalie should be making. So, no, I don't think I call that soft. The goal right after it, I don't think I would call that soft either. The unfortunate thing is that they had a chance to, 30 seconds later, get a second goal. You would hope that the defense can stop the shot or the rush sooner.
We talk about how important face-offs are, and one of the reasons Red team is winning this game is that redirected up in the air and just past the glove of Schoenholz. But Matt Saccone, what a game he has had. He's 4 of 4 on face-offs today. Meanwhile, for Blue team, their best face-off guy, he's 3 of 4. That's Ryan Pape. So those are the two guys you're going to look out for. Wide open in front, saucer pass, and they couldn't get it to Matone. He called for it, but he didn't get it.
Yeah, it was broken up by a stick that was laying flat on the ice.
Rodriguez, as they space out well, Letowski calls for Letowski shot! Beautiful save by Schoenholz.
I like what he did, though. He tried to drag it behind, assuming the goalie was going to get on the far post, and the goalie stuck out a leg and made the save.
Kaplan in the slot. Matone digs it out. Obtained at the red line. Retrieved by Blue, but they can't get it out. Out in front. Chance for Red. Can't get it on net. And it's out behind Borkowski. Tie-up action out behind the net. Red team steals with a beautiful deke. Kaplan got the separation he wanted, then backhanded out to the blue line. Marino. And now over to Kaplan. Kaplan with a nice move. He's in the slot. He's got a man on the face-off circle. Shot, save. Beautiful save that time by Borkowski. And then over to the face-off circle. Kaplan taking his time. Even strength hockey. Saucer pass. Wiseman, no high stick. We play on. Kaplan gets it back. Man, Kaplan just keeps getting that puck, Bob. Why is that the case?
Because he's good. But that was, plucked out of midair on that defensive play to stop that cross-ice pass from having a shot.
I mean, just Kaplan is all over the ice right now. When they need something to happen, Kaplan's making it happen. McCauley. Man, Blue team needs a line change right now.
Yeah, you're going to have to put him into the stars of the game category.
I mean, we'll get the live stats in a second of those two goals happened so fast. It was 2-1 for the longest time. It was 2-0 before that. Now 3 unanswered goals. And Bob, how does blue team readjust? They've given up 3 goals, and now they trail by 1.
Well, and that's the thing. They had a period break right after those 2 goals happened. So the question then becomes, does blue need to make an adjustment, or can they continue to try to counterattack with odd man rushes like this?
Backhander. I'm not sure if that was a shot or a pass. We'll call it a shot. It was off the stick of Pasoli.
Looked like a pass right into the goalie pads, right?
Lopez with a full head of steam. Backhander to the trailer, and Golden out in front. Pastowski. It blocked.
Here's the steal that the blue wants. Odd man rush, 2-on-1.
Man open in front, off the backhand. Chance. Oh, just goes wide. He beat Schoenholz, but he couldn't get it on net. And partner for Red, if they want to win this game, they might have to avoid pinching. Chance for Red, backhander, and an easy save for Borkowski, but he couldn't finish with the glove. Meanwhile, backhanded out in front. Salas with it. Salas falling to the ice. Did he do it on his own accord? Bob, you make the call.
No, he fell on his own. No penalty there. Here we go again, 3-on-2 for blue.
It seems like blue is at its best when Red pinches, so should Red stop pinching the rest of the game? That's in the breadbasket and covered up by Schoenholz.
And that's the coach. That's the call that the coach needs to make. This is still an all-star game. You still want to showcase people, and yeah, you want your defensemen to be offensive-minded. It is a one-goal game, so the question is: do you want to just shut the game down and play a defensive shell the rest of the game, or do you want to continue to push and get more goals and showcase your all-stars? I think if this is a regular season game, maybe you bring your defenders back a little bit and you worry less about scoring a goal. We're talking about an all-star game. At the end of the day, you don't really care who wins. You want both teams to play their best. So I'd say don't shut it down don't shut the team down with defense. Go ahead and continue to play. You might score more also.
Out near the end line. And blue team has to readjust, Bob. They were up most of this game. Now no longer. And they're thinking at least going to overtime, but they got to score one more. Can't give up any more goals.
Well, they had a couple of odd rushes after that, so they're still going to get more chances as the game goes on.
One would think if Red stops pinching or they go with a 3-man D, 1 forward, 2 defensemen, no more pinches, that's going to end those blue team rushes, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see if that's the approach the coach wants to take, right?
And the theory is two-partner has Nosek with it. Nosek, his shot was very wide. Got to get it on net.
Well, exactly. He was aiming for the upper right spot again, but he had a man wide open in the slot.
And here's the thing, too, Bob. If you go with the 3-man D, you could pinch one of your defensemen because you've got a center back. So you still have the 2D back, but your center becomes the defenseman if there's a pinch.
Yeah, I don't think they'll make that kind of an adjustment, but we'll see.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Chance for blue. They're taking too much time now.
Yep.
Nosek! Oh! And partner, Nosek, what was he thinking? He took way too much time to get that pass out in front.
Yeah, unfortunately, the stick on the pass is the wrong angle, so the puck went over the net. He needed to keep the face of the stick, more perpendicular to the ice. It would have gone right in.
Chance for Sobecki, and I don't know if I remember a hockey game where there's been so many wide open men in front of the net.
Well, it's a U14 game, right? And a lot of wide shots.
Sounds like the Blackhawks. Even when they're open, it's high and they can't get it on net. 2-on-2. As that's a nice play out to the trailer. That shot can't cover it up. Loose puck in the slot. As it's over to the end line. Played now by Nadeau. So speaking of the Blackhawks, partner, of course the Blackhawks named after Chief Blackhawk. Wide open man. Here we go. 2-on-1 for blue. Oh, and beautiful play by Nadeau.
That was just too slow developing. He had a first all by himself. Then it became a 2-on-1, and that was broken up. I think the goalie meant to catch that.
Yeah. Excellent play by Nadeau. I mean, this is going to go down to the wire off the blocker of Schoenholz. Schoenholz, he's got his work cut out for him. Out in the slot, Radel.
I agree. It's going to be down to the wire. With 10 minutes left, a one-goal game. This is my favorite kind of hockey, especially if it was like Olympic or something. But one-goal lead in the third period and wide-open skating. This is fun.
Well, we do the 3 stars in a hockey game, obviously. Saccone. And things have changed, obviously. Ben Collins would be the first star because he has the game winner thus far.
Well, I don't know that you automatically give a star to the game-winning goal.
I mean, Preston's just been phenomenal. Matone calls for it, losing an edge.
Well, I think I'm on board with Preston has to be the third star no matter what the rest of the game plays out to be. But the game's not over yet. Nice save. No rebound on that far side. Here we go. Another odd man rush.
Yeah, a lot of pinching by Red, but they do get back quickly. Pape with it in the slot. Shot. Nice save by Schoenholz. No rebound try for Blue.
Yeah, what we didn't know is the defender on the far side had gone into the bench, got off the ice. That's why it was a 3-on-1, and then the other replacement got on the ice to turn it into just a 3-on-2.
Rodriguez, chance shot. Schoenholz, back-to-back saves. Red team on the forecheck now, if they can get the puck. Matone gets it. Obtains it, sets a play up for his teammates. Costanza could not get it.
This is where Red is at their best, forechecking like that, but that's what also has given up these odd man rushes for Blue.
Too much forechecking has led to some problems for Red.
Right. But that's why it's a fun game.
Yeah, that's definitely
we got
a call.
Penalty here.
Yeah, you got to call that. You can't slash a person in the chest.
The ref was right on it.
And it'll be a power play for Red. So Blue in the box, 2-minute power play for Red. Of course, this power play brought to you by Plato's Closet in Batavia. And this one stinks if you're a Blue fan. You're down a goal, and you're probably not going to score for the next 2 minutes. You give up one more goal, and that might be the game.
Yeah, we know that there's got to be a joke in there somewhere with the what was it, the closet for the who is the sponsor? Batavia?
Plato's.
Yeah, Plato's Closet, right, for the penalty box.
Well, I was going to make a joke. So you know how Plato's Closet is
Plato's Closet, what?
It's a what's it called? A Fortune 500 company.
Okay.
I'm thinking about starting my rival company with Plato's Closet, and I'm going to call it. Drum roll, please.
All right. Ready?
Socrates Cabinet.
Oh, it could have been worse. I was expecting worse.
Do you know why it chose Socrates?
No.
Because Plato was Socrates' student. The one thing I remember learning in Marquette University philosophy class, is that's covered up well, Netminder and Borkowski.
Well, at least they're showing a lot of, good forethought.
Speaking of philosophy, what's the philosophy of Blue team on this penalty kill?
Yeah, don't let one more goal in. You might be thinking shorthanded goal too, but you're down by a goal. You can't just be satisfied. Here we go.
Here we go.
Right.
This is a clean breakaway, by the way, for Blue. Backhander. Oh, get it on net, please. I wasn't even close to getting on net.
The right idea to go high on the far side, but yeah, it's got to be on net. But the philosophy here, like you were saying, that don't just be settled to kill the penalty. Offensive minded. Maybe you can get a breakaway and a goal.
Yeah, I like it though. It's an all-star game. I think in a regulation game, there wouldn't be as much pinching by Red. But you know what? You want the kids to have fun. They're only 14 years old after all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. You probably could go into a defensive shell and shut the game down, right? But this is an all-star game. Let it all hang out for both teams. You might score more, and that's what you're trying to do, of course, right?
So it looks like they're going to play by the old high-performance hockey league rules. So if you're down a man, you still get called for icing on the penalty kill. It's interesting. So that changes the strategy today when you're on a penalty kill. Over to Red, at the hash mark, out behind the net. Nice move. We've said that so many times today, but it's hard to believe some of these kids are only 14 years old.
Exactly. Well, when we were going downstairs to get the interviews and they were having pictures taken, I'm 6'1". There was many of them. Well, of course, they're on 3 or 4 inch whatever it is skates, and so they're all taller, but they were my height.
Kosmeter, he scored earlier, shot, showing holes there again. He's been good, partner, but he's had some help. Some of the shot attempts by Blue have been too high. Meanwhile, here comes Salas. Salas, oh, what a move by Salas. Still loose in the slot, Salas. That'll do it for the penalty. Turnaround shot, very wide. Karam straight forward.
Yeah, Salas was taking the puck by himself, 1-on-3. Meant somebody was open somewhere.
Kosmeter still on the ice. McCauley. Picked up by Red. McCauley in the slot.
Nobody to pass to. There was a line change by Blue. So all they could do is go back, give up some ground, and hold the puck. Now we've got some fresh bodies on the ice, so that's all good.
They cycle it.
A
He's got an
wide
open
open.
man in front. One-timer, he scores! How about that, partner? The guy we had in the pregame show, Dominic Pasoli, with the game-tying goal.
Well, we were teasing with him afterwards about, okay, so he was hoping to get like a goal and assist in this game, so he picked up a goal right here. Tied the game 3-3, a very important goal. So that 4-2 prediction is out. Now the 5-3 prediction could occur.
Well, partner, we got 6:46 remaining of regulation hockey.
So both teams are going to continue to play the way that you'd play a game with 0-0, but you've only got like a 6-minute game to go. The next goal, you want to say, wins the game. Well, maybe the next goal wins the game plus an empty net goal, perhaps. So 5-3 is looking like a very real finish, possible score.
By the way, the family pack starting at only $60 here at the Chicago Steel, Fox Valley Ice Arena. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 chips, 4 sodas or waters, and 4 Chuck-a-Pucks. Just $60. That's a great deal, Bob.
It is, and fun. And you get to see good hockey in a real nice environment. And you're not like in nosebleed seats.
Ostendorf, another open man in front. Sassone.
Just missed it.
Look at that saucer pass right on the tape of Nozak. He shoots. Schoenholz can't cover it up.
That was a 3-on-1. But I think the 3 were all in front of the 1.
Is this a hockey all-star game or the NBA all-star game? Defense optional right now.
Yeah, it's starting to, maybe the players are getting, I don't know, tired, something. But you got a 3-3 game with 6 minutes to go. Dig deep and win this, even though it's an all-star game. You called it a saucer pass. It looked more like a moonshot. That puck was so high. A little surprised it didn't hit the scoreboard on the way across.
It was like the pass from in D2, the Mighty Ducks, where Fulton Reed sends it straight up, and then Kenny Wu gets it.
What a name, Kenny Wu.
Of course, the famous call in the movie when Kenny Wu scores. Woo, woo, Kenny Wu. Over to Matone. He's got some separation from the D. Open man in front. No look backhander and a beautiful save by Borkowski.
Yeah, kind of a flashy shot, but through the 5-hole wasn't going to happen with his back to the goalie. So probably needed to go left or right, but didn't know which direction to go.
Well, the goalies have to know there's going to be open man in front, so they're the last man of defense. They got to step up to the table and make these saves.
Well, you do got to close down your defense because whoever wins this game, it's going to be a defensive lapse in a breakaway or something, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, some kind of score like that. Here we go, 3-on-2.
Yeah, Costanza trying to get into the play, and he does. Some pushing and shoving between Selward and Costanza. Costanza with the steal. Calling for it is Matone. And Matone trying to split through the D. Blue would have nothing of it in the slot. Can't get the shot on that. It was off the stick that time of Kaplan. And then over to Pape. And for Blue team to win, Pape's got to remember to get those passes right on the tape. Costanza, saucer pass, chance, shot, tough angle, easy save for Borkowski. There was some tic-tac-toe action, partner, but the shot was way too far away.
Yeah, it was right. Tic-tac-toe to me, it's got to be like within 4 or 5 feet of the net, maybe 6 feet, something like that. But that was a little too far away and then too deep of an angle. The goalie could cut off the whole net there. He is a big goalie. You really have to work from that angle. Probably better off to center it somehow and hope for a deflection.
Nope, they got the tic-tac-toe passing. They wanted 3 straight passes right on the tape, but it was well played by Blue. They forced them to shoot from a tough angle near the faceoff circle, and then Borkowski finished it with the save. Under 5 minutes to go. Calling for it is Rodriguez. That's going to be icing against Blue.
And they don't have the rule that if you touch it first, it washes it. These jerseys are great. They got the names on the back of the jerseys as well for nice keepsakes. I'd be wearing it to my practices the next day for my team.
Well, partner, unless something happens in the next 4 minutes and 27 seconds, we're going to have 3-on-3 5-minute hockey.
And then didn't you say it's a shootout after that?
Yeah, shootout after 5 minutes.
3-on-3 hockey is fun to watch.
Chance for Rodriguez. He can't split through the D. The Chicago United Hockey League would like to congratulate all the CUHL alumni playing in today's CSDHL All-Star Games. One-timer and swing and a miss.
Well, I think at least it's a foul ball.
As Bombay said to Charlie Conway in D1, the Mighty Ducks, keep swinging, Charlie. Maybe you'll get him a cold. Up behind the end line. Tapped off the boards. Now played by Nadeau. That's a dangerous pass, partner. When you can't get it on the tape, easy pickings for the defense to check you.
Well, dangerous perhaps only in the sense that it wasn't going to be completed pass, but it was at center ice, so there's really no danger.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if it's not right on the tape, if it's behind you, it's easy pickings for the defenseman to drill you.
We talked about that earlier. Some of the passes, you can't just throw it at the body of the target. You have to get it on the stick of the target.
3:18 to go, out behind the end line. At neutral ice, played by Red. Here comes Golden. He's been their golden guy to pass to. And that might have been a hooking, but the ref says we play on. What say you, Bob?
Play on. 2 reasons. All-star game, and it wasn't that bad anyway.
Well, they haven't really called it all day. You're really going to call a hook there?
Yeah, you don't want to. I mean, it's got to be an obvious penalty, like that too many men on the ice earlier, that slash we saw to the chest right in front of us here. 2:42 to go in the tie game, though.
So what do you want to do if you're red and blue? Do you want to be conservative? Do you go all out for the win and pinch at at all costs?
Well, I don't think I would say pinch at every cost, but I want to hustle to get this win.
McCauley couldn't get it.
I don't think pinching necessarily equates to goals. It's hustle and good passing. Here we got 3-on-2.
Salas. And luckily got to the stick of Lopez. He calls for it. Now played by McCauley. He's trying to feed it over to Kosmeter.
But you do want to get a shot off if possible. Good forechecking here.
Timko right on the tape. Timko trying to toe drag his way around the D. It's a battle of fours. Timko, chance. They just couldn't get the shot they wanted. Easy save for Schoenholz, but a lapse in defense there for Red, and Red team almost paid the price.
Well, and that's what you want. They got the puck one-on-one against the goalie. It's all by himself in front of the goalie. It's you either score or you don't, or the goalie stops you, right? You shot it right at the goalie's chest, made the save. I mean, one might say it was an easy save, but if that puck went a different direction, that would have been a goal.
Check out Christie's International Real Estate at atproperties.com/site/Jessica Deegan Renzi. Of course, one of our many sponsors today, Glenview Stars as well. Go to glenviewstars.org. Sassone with it, his shot, and that wouldn't be a goal if the net was 10 feet high. That shot, that goes very wide. They're getting the firing attempts, partner, but accuracy optional right now.
Yeah, right. I think as they get older, that accuracy is going to increase. Like there, 2 shots right in a row on goal.
Got it exactly where he wanted to place it to, right at the pad. It redirects back to your stick for another rebound try.
Right, and then a low shot, right into the goalie's glove. Goalie read that well. Know it was going to be a low shot, not a high shot. You don't want to give up that high shot over your shoulder in the corner either. So he had to make a decision, keep the glove low or high. I don't want to say he guessed right. He read right and caught it down low. Really good rebound control.
Saccone will take the face-off. He has been brilliant the entire day, and he wins another one. And, it's one of those underrated aspects of hockey, partner. Everybody wants to score goals and get assists, but if you can win face-offs, it can change complexion of games.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like any sport, you want to win the coin flip and get the ball.
It's just so much harder for the other team when every time there's a face-off, they win the face-off and it goes back to their defenseman.
Right.
Another 2-on-1, open man. Instead, he shoots.
Oh. That was unfortunate. It went wide. I thought he should have passed it myself. It's easy to say up here, though.
Yeah, that forwarded pass was off the stick of Marino. He was trying to feed it to Fisher.
I think they want to play overtime. They want to keep playing. I would want to.
I don't know if these goalies want to, though. That's more guys wide open in front of the net that they're going to have to save. Oh, breakaway chance for Blue. He's got to step on the defender. Oh! Go off match sound until we get the headset ready. 31 seconds left. Okay, we're back. 30 seconds left. Face off won by blue, over to the blue line. Then out to the corner. .18 seconds left, now blue has it. 12 seconds left, and partner, it looks like we're going to have overtime hockey.
Which is fun. It's like a bonus period, right? 3-on-3. I think the players want to play that too. I mean, they're both trying to score that final goal, right? But they get to play more.
So we'll take a break. It'll be 5 minutes of 3-on-3 hockey here on SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone. Back to the action, Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsaway. It's 3-on-3 for 5 minutes. If neither team scores, game will proceed to a 3-round shootout. And then it's decision time. These guys got to be tired, partner. We talked about hockey. 17 times 3, that's 51 minutes of regulation hockey. Now they got to play another 5 minutes of hockey. That would be 56 minutes. And then another minute if we go to a shootout.
Oh, these guys are in shape. They can handle it. The 5-minute overtime that we're talking about, you're really only playing, what, a minute and a quarter of it because you have 4 lines. It can get on that on the ice, maybe even more than 4 lines because we're only talking on 3-on-3. You might get 1 shift and that's it. So make the most of it. Yeah. Now, in the NHL, it used to be they would take chances and shoot the puck, but, man, possession is everything on these 3-on-3s. Don't give up the puck. Wait for a good shot. Like this. Take it back, set it up. Behind the net. All right, set it up. Don't squander your chances. A turnover is pretty deadly.
Out to the blue line. This is played by Madden. Sorry, that's Hagen.
Yeah, you don't want to be cavalier with the puck. So blue successfully stole it. Now they need to hold the puck.
Over to McCauley. And here's the thing, too, partner. What do you want to do here? Do you want 2 forwards and a defenseman or 1 forward and 2 defensemen?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But what does have to happen is whoever's up front has to get back. Like here, it's a 3-on-1, literally a 3-on-1, which means there can be a breakaway the other way soon.
And then covered up well. Players going after the puck, but good job by Elon Sun avoiding Parker Hagen from having an attempt.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about a 3-on-3, right? No matter what happens, there's going to be an odd rush the other way. So there was a 3-on-1 with red. The puck got stopped there, but that meant the blue person could have been at the blue line cherry picking, and then they would have had a breakaway all the way down the ice.
So Kaplan will not take the face-off. Instead, it'll be Costanza. It's won by blue, and now playing it is Polina.
Yeah, and those face-off wins are real huge. Now blue has possession. Don't squander it.
Because the ice is opening up on 3-on-3, so if you win the face-off, wraparound try and sing it all the way with Schoenholz.
Yeah, and lost the puck as a result.
If you win the face-off, it gives your defenseman, especially if you have 2 forwards and 1 defenseman back, gives your defenseman more space to see the ice and see where he wants to pass it to or skate up with the puck. Kaplan, stop and start move, and reading it well is blue.
Here we go.
Cherry picker and a breakaway for the win. Shot! Oh, beautiful save by Schoenholz.
But that's always the risk. So they gave up a 3-on-2 rush with the hope to get that cherry pick goal going the other direction. It's a risk.
So you got to use your peripheral eye vision at all times.
Yeah, and here, what they don't want to do is lose the puck. So they lost it in the corner, and blue has now a 3-on-1. So it's a cherry pick opportunity for red going the other way if this doesn't go in.
Fake the pass, and ref might have called the freeze too early there, but he calls the freeze, and 3:08 to go, and some of these players look dead tired. It was a 3-on-2 because one of the back checkers for red just couldn't get back into the play. It's a good idea, fake the pass shot, but that's just so much to do in one action. even in basketball, you fake the pass and shoot. It's a lot harder than you think it is. Face off won by Red. And now a 2-on-1. Saccone gets past Pasoli. Saccone for the win, and it's going to be a penalty shot coming up.
Oh, my goodness. Held from behind.
See, what I don't like about that, partner, I mean, that's a hook. But maybe they should have called the same hook with 3 minutes to go, because it was the same type of hooking action that happened.
Well, yeah, maybe, but this one was on a breakaway.
I would say penalty shot, and I'm surprised they didn't call it. Are you surprised, Bob?
Penalty shot would have been real steep, I think, but this causes a 4-on-3, though, because of the man in the box. They don't go 3-on-2. You got to have a minimum of 3.
Yeah, so now it's 4-on-3.
Right. So this actually puts a little bit more crowd on the ice, which I like to see the 3-on-3. That almost went into the stands.
And here's the thing, the power play for Red is probably more advantageous than the penalty shot because both goalies off the bench have been excellent.
Well, that's a good point. You got 2 minutes of a 4-on-3 rather than one shot.
And both goalies, I mean, they're used to having wide open men in front of the net, that slapper, and couldn't glove it. That might be a little bit of tiredness from Borkowski, but he couldn't glove it.
Yeah, and this is going to be torture for Blue, right, with the penalty, 1:33 to go. Now, here, if you can hold the puck, hold the puck. Red needs the forecheck, man on man.
Remember, it's a 4-on-3, not a 5-on-4, so the spacing is still more open than a 5-on-4.
By a lot, yep.
Bad pass and a break for Red. Couldn't steal it as it was off the stick of Seeger.
Yeah,
it's
hard to defend with just 3 players. You can pass it around, always have an open shot somewhere near the net.
On the slot, Saccone fakes the shot.
Right at the goalie.
You know, we talked a lot about Preston, partner, but let's give Borkowski his credit as well. He's been excellent, too.
And here we go, a wholesale line change for both teams. So fresh legs. Red's got to work the puck around to get an open shot or a tip-in somewhere. And Blue has to just be, pounce on every loose puck and get it up ice. They got to kill a 1:05.
Face off. And tapped it off the glass, tried to beat the defender to the puck. Did Madden. Ooh, that might have been a kicking action that time by Nate Robbins, but they don't call it. That would have been roughing against Robbins. He has the puck now. And Robbins' pass, no one home for Red to retrieve it.
Yeah, when you have a 4-on-3 and you're in overtime, you got to make sure those passes are going to connect. You can't just blindly pass. You got to make sure the passes connect. Using up way too much time to go behind your net to make another attack. The clock is ticking, 32 seconds on the penalty.
Salas shot, beautiful block by Sun. Out behind the net, Sun got a piece of it. Now over to Timko, and he iced it. Remember, partner, it's the old rules. If you ice, it goes back to your own net.
Well, it gives you a little bit of a breather, and they are allowing the players to change. Now, if you win the face-off, you can do it again. You only got 17 more seconds to kill.
1:12 remaining in the period.
Yep, what you just want to defend against is Red getting possession of the puck in your own zone with just 17 seconds to go on this penalty. And you can't leave somebody by themselves. There, they won the draw. They've got to be careful here. Just feathered it ahead because you got to get back on defense. And the blowout.
Yeah, lost an edge. Here we go. Open man in front. Instead, they give it to the trailer. Rebound try. Bodies flying. And
they've got a penalty, delayed penalty. So Red's going to be in the box after this.
Yeah, off the side of the net. And Red is just trying to waste time.
Excitement galore. So with 41 seconds to go, Red's going to have a man in the box. Blue's going to have the puck in the offensive zone, and they're going to have a man advantage. What a turn of events.
Here's the thing, though, partner. All I ask for officiating is consistency. If that's a penalty, that's a penalty.
It was a penalty. We were watching. It looked like he poke checked the goalie. That's not appropriate. So it's the right call. Salas got a little aggressive with the stick there.
They just called a lot of penalties these last 5 minutes and not so much the first 3 periods of action. So it'll be 41 seconds on the clock, 2 minutes of power play hockey. The game will end with either a goal or Red killing off this penalty.
So 34 seconds. Don't take too much time. Take your shot and get the rebound.
Pape, shot, save, rebound try, no dice.
Oh, you didn't want Red to get the puck.
Bob, do you want to be at a soccer game right now? Over to the blue
I think we just got done with
out
it.
front, chance shot. Oh, beautiful save by Schoenholz. Oh my goodness!
I don't think he knew where the puck was. He was looking behind him to see if it went in the net. What a great save!
Was that the save of the game right there?
Well, we've had several. You know, Preston on the other side. This one for Red. Yeah, it's been good goaltending. You have to more often blame the defense than the goalie has to make a save like that. But here's the replay on the big board for us.
Oh my goodness!
Just
what
shot
a save.
it right at the goalie's stomach. The goalie thought it was in. He's looking behind him. There's a lot of open net.
He went to the one spot, the one weakness of the goalie, the 5-hole, and Schoenholz covered that 5-hole quicker. As
that was almost the goal too. Centered it.
Here we go, partner. The shootout.
We're a little bit of everything in this All-Star 14s, right?
Do you like the shootout, or?
I do, but I don't. Also, yes, I like the shootout. Remember in the old days, I mean, you would have to wait a century or, for real, like a decade before you'd see a penalty shot on, in a real game.
Yeah.
And then they did the shootouts for ties, and then it got to be kind of old hat. But yeah, it's always special to see the shootout. So I love them. But I think, it used to be that a shootout was a huge advantage for the player with the puck, right? But the goalies got better at stopping the shootouts.
Well, you would think it's going to be Letowski, Golden, and Ostendorf, as well as Kosmeter. And here we go, Kosmeter.
Well, Kosmeter's first.
And here, it's an all-star game, partner, so one would think each coach is going to allow the starter and the backup to get even goalie time in this shootout.
Well, we'll have to watch and see what they do. I think I would just leave the second half goalie in.
Kosmeter, who made it a 1-0 game, past the blue line. He shoots, he scores! Kosmeter.
It would be tempting to put Preston back in, though. I think the goalie had to poke check it away rather than just put the stick on the in between him and the empty net. But again, like we said, it's easy to save from up here.
See what Kaplan tries to do. Past the blue line. Shot, a save. Gloved well by Borkowski. He went fancy, went glove side, and Borkowski said, I don't think so.
Again, same thing, low side by the leg, and he kept the glove low. You would have expected a high shot on the glove side, but no. Nice save.
It's 3 rounds, so if he scores here, that means Red has to score back-to-back times on attempts number 2 and 3. Here we go. It'll be Letowski. He scored as well in this game. He scores! He goes 5-hole on Schoenholz, and what do you know about that, partner? Schoenholz, his 5-hole insured. This goes to a shootout. Then he goes 5-hole, does Letowski. And that time, Schoenholz could not maintain the 5-hole.
So like you said, red team has to score it both times now.
So if Borkowski can ice it with the save, if George Golden scores, actually it's not Golden, it's going to be Seller. And he shoots, he scores. So Parker Hagen putting a little bit of pressure right now on Blue. Remember, though, even if Blue doesn't score here, Red's got to score again.
Right, I'm holding up my fingers, 2-1.
Yeah, Yeah, update it.
So this is the goal he needs to get.
Casey Nozak can ice it with a goal. Look how slow he goes.
Yeah, they've all been like that.
He scores! Blue team wins! So Schoenholz was fabulous during his 25-30 of regulation hockey, as well as that 5-minute overtime, so 30 minutes and 30 seconds, but he just wasn't that good during the shootout, and Blue scored all 3 of their goals.
And then the Blue player, during the prediction before the game, said the score was going to be 6-5. Turns out he's pretty darn close.
6-4, so
yep.
That does it, partner. We're going to go to the post-game show, and then we'll give you our 3 stars of the game. It'll be Seth Humanick for our post-game interview brought to you by Plato's Closet. Don't go anywhere. Post-game show coming up next here on SBS.
12 and 13 scored in regulation, but 8 got what ended up being the winner in the shootout.
Chicago Blackhawks and the Philadelphia Flyers. The final result will be an overtime win in Philadelphia. If the Flyers end up victorious, they'll still have to win a Game 7 in Chicago. It's a 3-3 tie in the first overtime, meaning this has been a moderate offensive explosion with some decent defense and goaltending squeeze in between this hockey contest. This is a huge game for Blackhawks fans, as their favorite hockey team has been a laughingstock in the Western Conference for most of the previous decade. For the Flyers, they're looking to bring back Stanley Cup glory to the city of brotherly love for the first time since the 1970s. To truly understand the importance of what happens next, we need to hit that left button on the VCR. In other words, we need to rewind. The Blackhawks are an overtime goal away from cementing their legacy in NHL history. But for a franchise who used to not even televise its home games, this seemed like a pipe dream even 5 years ago. Known for his severe cheapness, Blackhawks former owner Bill Wirtz decided to cancel all home broadcast agreements with network and cable television outlets in 1992. According to Wirtz and the Wirtz Corporation as a whole, home broadcasts were, quote, unfair to the team's season ticket holders, unquote. And as crazy as this decision was by Wirtz, fan attendance increased during the mid-1990s. Incredibly, without normal home broadcasts and overall television brand awareness about the team, the Hawks averaged over 19,300 fans during the mid-1990s at the United Center. This is how it worked. WGN and other media outlets couldn't broadcast the Blackhawks games at the United Center. But if a national broadcasting network such as ESPN decided to telecast the game, a Blackhawk fan could purchase HawkVision, a subscription network worth $29.99 per month. Then you could watch the ESPN broadcast of Blackhawks vs. Red Wings at the United Center on normal cable television. It was pretty confusing, to be sure, and as you know, the internet wasn't big back then. If you were a big hockey fan and wanted to know about the Blackhawks, you either had to go to the game or wait for the hockey highlight on SportsCenter. Even then, hockey coverage wasn't big on ESPN, so it was in your best interest to purchase a ticket at the UC. So the fans kept supporting the Blackhawks even though they couldn't watch their favorite team on TV. However, the product on the ice wasn't so great. As if it were a curse from the hockey gods, the Hawks kept finding different ways to choke in the playoffs. An original six team, the Hawks were at one time the second most cursed original six franchise. The New York Rangers went titleless from 1940 until 1994, and the Hawks now find themselves in the same place as the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs and the Hawks have not hoisted Lord Stanley's Cup since the 1960s decade. For the Hawks, it's been even worse. They haven't won it all since 1961, and before that, Chicago went 23 years without hoisting the Cup. The Maple Leafs have been a borderline disaster since 1967, but at least the Leafs were a dynasty in the 60s. The Hawks were lucky to even win the 1961 Stanley Cup. So yeah, the Hawks have pretty much been mediocre or worse since 1961. However, there were moments when the franchise seemed destined for championship glory. The worst moment for Chicago hockey fans was the 1971 Stanley Cup Final against the hated Montreal Canadiens. Without air conditioning at Old Chicago Stadium, the Hawks were the home team during Game 7 of the Finals against the Canadiens. Jumping out to an early 2-0 lead, legendary netminder Tony Esposito couldn't stop Jacques Lamar's 60-foot-away snapshot, giving the Canadiens their first goal of the contest. Chicago Tribune writer Bob Verdi said there was a humid haze hung over the ice, but Esposito refused to blame the rink's lack of air conditioning on the soft goal he gave up. He had a point, since Lamar's shot was nearly from the center line. The Canadiens never looked back and scored twice more to upset the Hawks and win 3-2 on Chicago's home ice. Since then, the Hawks have never been closer to winning the Cup as they were that day in 1971. That is, until tonight anyway. As painful as it was in 1971, Hawks fans who were still alive in 1992 had to be devastated at what happened next to Ed Belfour and Dominik Hasek. Incredibly, Eddie the Eagle Belfour and Dominik the Dominator Hasek were both on the Blackhawks at the same time. Two future Hall of Fame goalies were both on the Hawks, and yet the franchise still couldn't win a Stanley Cup with either netminder. Belfour was the starter during the brief Belfour-Hasek years. The Hawks made the 1992 Stanley Cup championship round with Belfour and Hasek both on the roster. It was also a Chicago team with Chris Chelios leading the defenseman, and forward Jeremy Roenick was on this Hawks team as well. Led by captain Dirk Graham, the Hawks went on a very impressive winning streak in the playoffs. After falling to a 2-1 series deficit to the St. Louis Blues, the Hawks won their next 3 games against the Blues, as well as back-to-back series sweeps against the Detroit Red Wings and the Edmonton Oilers. Just like that, 11 consecutive victories saw the Blackhawks 4 wins away from ending up as the last team standing. The only team in their proverbial way, the NHL's version of the Super Mario Brothers, otherwise known as Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr. The Pittsburgh Penguins were the defending Cup champions, and after narrowly beating the Washington Capitals in Game 7 during Round 1, the Pens found their way in the finals thanks to winning 8 of their last 10 games. Hasek was probably Chicago's better goalie entering the playoffs, as the Dominator earned all rookie honors and went 10-4-1 during his 15 starts between the pipes. Between a contract holdout from Belfour and Crazy Eddie missing games this season due to personal reasons, Hasek was turning into a fan favorite, while Belfour was the more controversial choice at net. However, head coach and general manager Mike Keenan stuck with Belfour throughout the playoffs, and he turned out to be the best goaltender in the postseason not named Tom Barrasso. The problem is Barrasso plays for Pittsburgh, so it was up to Roenick and company to find consistent offense against the Eastern Conference's best goalie. It looked like the Hawks had the Pens right where they wanted them when they took a 4-1 lead during Game 1. But the hockey gods haven't liked Chicago since 1961. Whenever the Hawks can blow a postseason lead during crunch time, they like to do it. The Pens scored 4 unanswered goals on their home ice, including the game winner with just 13 seconds left in OT. A crushing 5-4 loss for the Hawks, and they never rebounded from it. It was a sweep for the Pens as the Penguins celebrated their championship victory at Chicago Stadium. Hasek even showed during the series that he still had some raw rookie moments, but Belfour clearly wasn't himself. Hasek subbed in for Belfour in Game 4 after Eddie the Eagle gave up 2 goals on just 4 shots on goal. Keenan had a tough decision to make between keeping Hasek and Belfour, but with Belfour 1 year removed from winning the Vezina and Williams M. Jennings trophies for best goalie, Keenan had no choice but to allow Hasek to become expendable. The Sabres then cashed in on the young goalie's athleticism by fleecing the Hawks with a terrible trade request. The Sabres received a future Hall of Famer in Hasek, and the Blackhawks received just future draft considerations and a goalie in Stefan Beauregard, who never played a single minute in the goalie crease. The future draft considerations eventually led to the Hawks drafting Eric Daze in the 4th round. Daze became an all-star left winger, but serious back and herniated disc issues saw the team's promising winger limited to just 74 games in 3 seasons after his all-star game appearance in 2002. He retired after playing just 1 game in 2005. That being said, Keenan didn't want there to be a locker room controversy between Hasek and Belfour, and it's easy to say in hindsight when no one knew how great Hasek would become. Unfortunately, Belfour wouldn't even finish his career in Chicago. The Hawks were worried that he wouldn't re-sign with the team, so they shipped him off to San Jose for 3 players I personally never heard of until I Googled them: Ulf Dahlin, Michael Sikora, and Chris Terreri. Terreri was put in the very tough position of trying to fill Belfour's shoes in net, and he never got close to reaching Belfour's milestone achievements. Blackhawk fans kept asking themselves, is this team cursed? The 1999 Stanley Cup Final pitted Belfour against Hasek as the Dallas Stars took on the Buffalo Sabres. Belfour eventually won the cup over Hasek in the series, although Hasek won more cups than the Eagle once he began playing for the Red Wings. The Blackhawks managed just 1 more Western Conference Finals appearance with Belfour in net, and they wouldn't get back to the Western Conference Finals until last season. No one ever wishes someone to die, but success seemed to reach the Blackhawks once Bill Wirtz passed away from complications of cancer on September 26, 2007. His son, Rocky Wirtz, took over the team, and during their first season with Rocky as the CEO, the Hawks finished above 500 for the first time in 6 years. With John McDonough as the president and Joel Quenneville as the head coach, the Hawks made it back to the playoffs and finished in the Final Four. The Red Wings once again got in their way and easily took care of the Hawks 4-1 during the 2009 Western Conference Finals. Entering the 2009-10 season, the Hawks decided they need a veteran forward who could score goals and match up against their biggest rival, the Detroit Red Wings. Marian Hossa signed with the Blackhawks, giving the Hawks a formidable 1-2-3 punch on line 1 on Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, Marian Hossa. That is, if they ever needed to use all three guys on the power play. The Hawks were a tough team to beat in 2010, and they finished just 1 point shy of the Western Conference leading Sharks, but the Hawks were the better team in the Western Conference Finals and swept the Sharks to make it to the Stanley Cup Final. Their opponent was an unlikely one, the Philadelphia Flyers. Entering the playoffs as a 7th seed, the Flyers had little title aspirations, but after the top-seeded Capitals were stunned in round 1 to the 8th-seeded Canadiens, there was new hope in Philly. The Flyers looked dead in the water when they trailed 3-0 in the Eastern Conference semifinals, but Simon Gagne returned for Game 4, and they definitely needed him as Gagne scored in overtime to force a Game 5. Brian Boucher was excellent as the Flyers starting goalie during Game 5, but he had to leave the game early due to knee injuries. As such, Michael Layton finished off Game 5 as the Flyers' new goalie and preserved the 4-0 shutout. Layton then got the start in Game 6 as expected, and he made the most of his opportunity by being perfect through 59 minutes until the Boston Bruins scored late. It was still a 2-1 win for the Flyers, and wouldn't you know it, the Flyers had a chance to win Game 7 and come back from an insurmountable 3-0 deficit. The Bruins actually led 3-0 in Game 7 at the TD Garden in Boston, but they simply couldn't avoid a significantly embarrassing collapse. James Van Riemsdyk, who didn't score a single goal in the playoffs prior to tonight, netted a very important goal late in the first period to give his teammates new life and ending the shutout attempt.
Every day, Union Concrete contractors are fueling a foundation that lets our city stand tall. They bring the tools, training, and know-how required to bring your commercial projects in on time and with the highest levels of safety. Visit concreteil.com today to browse Northern Illinois' top union contractors specializing in commercial concrete and find the contractors you need to get your job done right.
Is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game. So I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith. But my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I